Alright, stream. We're back. We have a best of 5 match. I'm excited. So it is the Division A semifinals, playoffs, Season 7 NGS. We got Wholesome Halfwits and Sky5 going at it, trying to face my team Rewind in the grand finals. It's gonna be a good one. Should be a pretty close match. Our first map, gonna be picked by Wholesome Halfwits, is Infernal Shrines. And we're still going to be a couple minutes here before we get started. Gotta have everybody hop in the lobby here, running a tiny bit late, but that's all good. I'm in no rush. And yeah, both of these teams, Sky5, let's start there, has been pretty solidly in the top 3, I would say, pretty much the whole season. So they secured the 3rd seed. Sure. And Wholesome Halfwits, on the other hand, had a bit of a ups and downs, middle of the pack season, I would say. But they came in upsetting number 2 seed, Gilly Shark, in the first round. So they are now in the semifinals here as a 7th seed, so that is a nice run in the playoffs so far for them. We will see if they can keep it up, making it to the grand finals. That would be pretty neat. Both teams have, I would say, a bit of a smaller hero pool. They stick to their comforts pretty strong. Going into this match, I would say Sylvanas, Kael'thas, Ana, and Tyrande. Those are all probably those 4 going to be probably really contested. Johanna probably in there as well. Both teams have like 10 plus games on like all, 5 of those heroes? Something like that. So yeah, Sylvanas I don't expect will be making it through any drafts, and then some of the other ones probably Johanna might, but each team, Wholesome Halfwits has a couple pocket strats they like to do on certain maps. Sky5 I think has some let's say not meta picks and things like that they like to run as well, that I have seen a couple times. Try not to spoil anything too spicy here. But yeah, I mean this is semifinals, right? And it's best of 5, so they might even pull out some stuff that we've not even seen from them, which I think would be exciting. So, map bans went pretty much as I expected. I actually thought the teams might ban Infernal Shrines because Sky5, it's one of their better maps, and so I thought Wholesome Halfwits might ban that out, but instead they chose to ban Braxis, and then their usual ban of Sky Temple. Sky5 had a bit of an interesting other choice as far as map bans go. I thought they might go with kind of their comfort bans of Dragonshire and Towers. They might try and ban away Volskaya, that Wholesome Halfwits is known to play on pretty well, same with Tomb. And so they kind of went half and half. They banned out one of their comforts in Dragonshire and the target ban of Volskaya, so Halfwits suck, they just got lucky. Well, you know what? All that counts at the end of the day is having the W. And I will note that that's coming from chat, not from me. Just to clear that up real quick before that gets clipped and taken out of context. Alright. Almost have everybody in here. Ooh, and because we took long enough, we have a special guest coming in time. He thought he was only going to make it for game 2, but Chaotic, hello.
Hello, it's me, your special guest. How's it going?
Surprise guest, sliding in at the last minute.
You know it.
He made it.
Ready to have some fun? Where's this lobby at?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Alright, I'm in. Let's get the entirety of Rewind in it. At it. Scout out both of the teams.
That would be too complicated. for me to handle, probably. But it would be fun.
Alright, so it looks like the game hasn't started yet, so just in time. Love to see it.
So give me, I just gave my whole rundown. Give me your rundown real quick of these two teams and their whatever battle
Um,
coming up.
let's see. I think. Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot
I
here.
am.
I think Sylvanas is going to be a very high priority for both teams.
Yep.
Because we played against both of them, and Sylvanas is high priority on both of them. I'm just really excited to see what Sky5 is going to pull out. Honestly, I feel like Sky5 has a very distinct drafting style, which should make this a little bit interesting because maybe Wholesome Halfwits might not be ready for that if they haven't done their research. But I believe in them.
Yeah, I think both teams probably did the research, but I said pretty much both teams have like a very distinct drafting style that I think they both kind of have like they have some comforts, but they also just have like some set comps that they go into games with that like you kind of just have to.
Yeah,
they're very good at like doing like a specific thing, and so you do both kind of have to like adapt to it and like know what the potential things they could do are, but then also like be able to counter like this very like focused thing that if you can't handle that one specific thing, they might just steamroll. So
yeah, exactly. And like the biggest example I have of that is just Apple Mike and basically his entire hero pool, but like specifically the offlane Rhaegar, the Tracer play that we've seen from him throughout the season.
yep, so I would say top 3 bans that I'm expecting here are going to be Sylvanas, Johanna, Kael'thas. We might see an Ana, might see a Tyrande in there, but those are probably the top 5 that we'll see probably at least 3 of those go every game, if not 4 or 5.
Yeah,
And probably
I
the ones that aren't
and
banned going to be picked as well, I would expect.
especially with the map being Infernal Shrines, right? Like it's any sort of clear onto the what is it called, the Punisher. The shrines is just very, very good on this map. So something like a Johanna or Sylvanas is going to be like top tier priority for both of these teams, I think.
Let me swap over to that real quick here before I forget and miss the first ban. ETC. And so let me double check. Our team's on the right sides? Yes. Alright, nailed it. Professional caster.
Easy as that, dude.
So yeah, ETC
And
probably like the second most common tank out of Wholesome Halfwits. So if Sky5's looking to first pick Johanna potentially, that makes sense there.
Especially with Sojeli being such, I believe he's the tank player, right? But I remember him being like absolutely fantastic on ETC, so I can definitely understand why they would think it warrants a ban.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what roles Wholesome Halfwits plays. There's the Kael'thas, as we expected. The Rhaegar, as you mentioned. No offlane Rhaegar shenanigans going on here.
I'm sad, I wanted to see it. Always it's so fun to watch.
The Stukov being banned out. That is, I would say, in the top 4 of the Sky5 main healers. They have Ana, Rhaegar, Tyrande, and Stukov, so makes sense there.
And Alpha is very, very scary on that Stukov as well. But this might put them in a position where they're sort of choking their own healers by doing so. They've banned 2 supports now.
Yeah, their main 2 are Ana and Tyrande, so I think they know that if one gets picked, they can get the other one. But there we see the Sylvanas. It got through ban phase. I didn't expect it, but of course it's going to be first picked, so.
Right. And it's interesting here, like, will they pick a DPS or the support potentially? Yes, okay, there's the, honestly, classic Ana Freckle fans.
I would expect Johanna here, probably.
Oh,
yep, okay. Alright, we're doing good so far. Back over to Sky5, let's see.
Are we trying to predict the entirety of the
Yes, of course. So,
okay.
As far as offlane, I'm going to expect them to take Sonya or Varian, most likely. Then probably Jaina. Oh, they got in there before I could say it. For the other DPS...
That's a Varian.
Okay. For the other DPS, we'll just do this ahead of time. Probably Phoenix. And then for the healer, probably Tyrande. If Wholesome Halfwits bans Tyrande here, then I'm not sure what they'll go with. I could try and scout that out real quick. They do ban the Tyrande. as for what Sky5 might ban here, I would expect Raynor most likely.
I might think some sort of mage instead, because Nano with Ana and Johanna to just peel off of any engage that they might have.
With Jaina and
Make it
Kel'Thas
effective.
already gone though, I'm not really sure what they normally try to run with the Ana.
That's true. Maybe something like a Gul'dan. It is pretty good on this map, I think. No, a Lunara ban instead. Okay.
So I think we could see a Lucio out of Sky5 for their other healer here. The only other healer they've played is Anduin, and that only has 1 game, while his Lucio has 3. So seems like they're getting pretty tight on those hero pools a tiny bit. Let's see what Wholesome Halfwits tries to pick up here. Blaze Raynor makes sense to
Okay,
me.
there's the Raynor.
Yeah, Neutrons is known for his Jimmy Neutrons Raynor.
Right, and I guess this does allow Acer to just flex his last damage pick depending on what gets picked here. We might see the Apple Mike Tracer here, for example. Although, in that case, they probably wouldn't have too heavy of a front line, so maybe not.
Tank here, they might go for Mal'Ganis, or Garrosh, or Diablo. They are going to go for the Anduin. Going to go for Thrall, so it's
Then
main
Thrall,
tank variant.
okay.
Interesting.
They have run a lot of main tank variant in the past, right, with Ponks?
Mm.
And especially with the Jaina damage and potentially the Thrall route to follow up, like...
They definitely
they're
have a
able to get
lot of
someone like
burst
Ana.
off a taunt or something, for sure.
Exactly. Ooh, and a Chromie
Chromie.
last pick. Interesting.
Let me see real quick. Have they played Chromie this season? They have. 2 games. 100% win rate. So they've shown it before, but not a common pick from them.
Weird. Like, Chromie's... Now that Chromie, like, her Q doesn't actually hit any of the shrines, the defenders of that, it means that on the shrine itself, Chromie might not be as effective. Until level 18, of course, when she gets her Pierce.
Mm. With having the variant frontline, though, they might be kind of vulnerable to the long-range poke, especially with Raynor as well, so...
Definitely. Like, essentially Sky5 is looking here to just blow someone up with the variant taunt and the sheer amount of damage that they have, but I feel like this game is going to be on if Dr. Sagelli and G Money Drums are able to effectively zone Sky5 off of their backline. And with the Johanna Blaze, that should be like a little bit easier to do, potentially with some other heroes.
Mm-hmm. I think the Chromie is pretty weak early game, is like the main thing. Honestly, a lot of Wholesome Halfwits' draft could be considered kind of weak early game, whereas Sky5 definitely, I think, has a really strong early game with Jaina Burst, you know, the Thrall variant taunt stuff, and Sylvanas as well, pushing those structures. So I think Sky5 probably can run away with the game more in like a snowball sense if they win those early punishers, but, you know, Wholesome Halfwits has plenty of wave clear, and so if they can get set up on the shrines and just kind of play defensively and play things slow, they might be able to last out long enough here. So, introducing our team on the left, Wholesome Halfwits, we have Dr. Jelly. Oh, his name... I forgot I was going to have to do this. So Jelly, yeah, on Johanna, Ace Hysteria on Chromie, Neutrons on Raynor, G Money Drums on Blaze, and Freckle Pants on Ana.
And over on the right side for Sky5, we have Alan by default playing Anduin, Quan Finnegan on Sylvanas, Goliath on Varian, Pearl playing Jaina, and Apple Mike rounding it off on the Thrall.
We see Thrall starting out in the top lane, so Sky5 probably not wanting to fight too hard here in this first mid lane wave.
Right, especially with Chromie looking for her stacks on her Q super early. She did go into that level 1 once again the first time, so if she's able to hit heroes 40 times with her Q, she'll get an additional echo.
Yep, we see Johanna going for Laws of Hope, and Sylvanas going for the Overwhelming Affliction at level 1.
I think that's a really good talent pickup by Quan Finnegan there. That means that they'll be able to pressure the front line much more effectively than the other abilities might have been able to.
Yeah, Johanna not the biggest health bar of a tank, but, you know, still you have the Johanna and the Blaze at least that you'll probably be able to hit with auto attacks fairly consistently, so. Both teams just kind of doing the 4-man rotate thing, clearing waves. As mentioned, Wholesome Halfwits does probably have the stronger wave clearer in the early game. Johanna is kind of limited by the Blizzard cooldown. We see Rainer and Anna starting on their siege camp over on the left. Sky5 not quite going for their camp just yet, still trying to have to keep up with the waves.
Right, there's not too much else going on. Oh, it looks like Sky5 is going to start their camp as well, but a little bit later than Wholesome Halfwits, so they might have the potential to just clear out Wholesome Half. Oh wait, Johanna looking for an invade potentially? And with
Oh,
Jaina's
barely
camp as
gets on
well.
the point in time.
This
Good
is
sleep,
Jaina
Johanna.
is out of mana.
Yeah, Jaina is nearly out of mana at the start of this. One of the weaknesses of Jaina trying to do camps. Good yoink by the Anduin there to save the Sylvanas over the wall. She got very low.
Yeah, very nicely done.
And they do steal the camp, so...
Yep, nicely done. That does give them about half a level advantage or so they should get level 4 first, but I'm pretty sure that Sky5 will be able to equalize that out before the first objective begins.
Yeah, Sky5, I think at least has lost one wave bot lane already so far. And it looks like they're going to lose about another half wave here as Jaina's going down to get that. She had to back, being low mana, as mentioned. Once Sylvanas gets Merc Queen, having to defend these camps isn't too bad, although they might not go Merc Queen, we'll see. We do see the taunt from Varian. Everything else looks pretty standard.
As expected. They'll probably just look to blow up somebody here. They might look at neutrons? No, not going to blow them up there.
Jaina getting
Royal
pretty
in the meantime,
low
taking a lot of damage.
by the Chromie poke there, but able to be fine. Neither team really going for the bruisers here too early. Would rather just push the lower side of the map. And they are going to try and start this bot siege.
Okay, this is an interesting play. It does give Sky5 the time to set up on the top objective first, potentially, but it looks like they are hanging out bottom, potentially suspecting that to be the case, and yeah, they will stay down there.
Yeah, I've definitely seen Sylvanas teams before try and just trade the first Punisher to push in like a far lane, but yeah, it's interesting that Sky5 is, or Wholesome Halfwits is the one kind of choosing not to start the shrine here.
Yeah, so it looks like our teams are heading up to the objective now, with Wholesome Halfwits being the first ones on there, Apple Mike just getting out of there easily. But yeah, they should have maybe 10 minions of advantage, maybe like 15 or so before Sky5 is able to get on there, but we'll see how Sky5 is able to play those out.
Yep, Dr. Jelly doing a good job just controlling the bush. We see the Chromie time trap in there as well. And yeah, they do have about a 20 minion lead here already, so Sky5 gonna have to pressure up pretty hard, try and take control of that area and zone them off for quite a while to catch back up. Both teams still focusing on the wave, of course. It's very important for getting vision of who's going in and out of those bushes, and it makes teams kind of have a lose-lose choice of the minions on the shrine versus the XP from the wave.
Right, it does look like Wholesome Halfwits is... Oh, no, Sky5 is now engaging onto the Johanna, but she manages to unstoppable most of the damage. Getting taunted now, and is she going to be able to get out? No, it actually looks like Sky5 is going to be the one engaged on, with Varian going down first, and everyone else just able to walk away.
Yeah, Blaze,
Very
I think,
done.
doing a huge amount of damage there with the fire just slowly ticking everybody down super low on the side of Sky5, and Varian goes down, but Sylvanas and Thrall were both very low as well, so first objective probably going to go over to Wholesome Halfwits here. Sky5 just going to have to go clear lanes and defend that.
Yeah, and Johanna in that fight having a lot of trouble dealing with the sheer amount of damage that was put out by Sky5 in the first place. She did manage to get out, but her shield did pop and she was taunted after that.
We do see Unstable Poison on Sylvanas at level 4, and Chromie went the Time Trap slow at level 4. This is a Frozen Punisher, so yeah, gotta be careful of those large circles there. Wall goes
Sky5 looking to
down.
play up right now, but the second jump for the Punisher should happen relatively soon. So, oh, okay, it is on Varian, but I
He gets rooted by a Frozen as well. Oh, big, slow, what is this called? Slowing Sands from Chromie.
Slowing Sands, yeah.
Sylvanas getting very low, having to back off. They
Yeah,
should
the
probably
amount of
be able
damage
to finish
pushed
the
up
fort here.
means that they get the fort, yes.
Meanwhile, Jaina just double soaking waves. Blaze kind of matching her. So, Wholesome Halfwits now roughly slightly just under a full level lead here, I would say.
Yes, very nicely done by them. But it's definitely not over for Sky5 by any means, just because they have that Sylvanas factor. If they're ever able to win one Punisher, they'll be able to push it down and probably get just as much value, if not more, than Wholesome Halfwits just got right there.
Yep, Blaze starting the siege camp over on the side of Wholesome Halfwits again. And he's probably going to recall and head back top lane, match the Thrall. They're going to lose a little bit of that top lane soak, probably about at least a full wave, maybe 1.5. But Wholesome Halfwits close to level 10s here. They can look for an invade on this siege camp, but Jaina's getting caught by Johanna, gets yoinked out by Anduin.
Again, very nice yoink by Anduin.
And Sylvanas and Thrall are doing the top lane shaman camp as well. So this is kind of a 4v3 in the bot side of the map right now. And Sylvanas is probably going to have to be preoccupied clearing the siege camp mid lane, and she is very split from the team, so I think this invade will happen out of Wholesome Halfwits. Not sure that Sky5 can really contest it too easily.
Especially with them hitting level 10s here, there's no way that Sky5's going to be able to contest that at all. And we do see Hyperion coming out from Raynor instead of Raynor's Raider, so just even more zone control coming out from this side of Wholesome Halfwits.
Yep, we do see level 10s now on the side of Sky5. Wailing Arrow, of course. That is the Holy Word Salvation, Ring of Frost, and Sunder. So a couple of a little bit unusual picks there. Ring is hard to hit without setup for it. Sunder can kind of work, but and maybe a variant taunt as well on one person. Sky5 looks like they're invading the actual shaman camp of Wholesome Halfwits here in the top lane. Meanwhile, Wholesome Halfwits themselves are getting the bot lane siege camp. And I think they're just going to be okay with that. Invading this shaman camp while the fort is still alive doesn't really get a whole ton of value.
Yeah, especially with G-Money drums there, he should be able to clear that up.
And they popped Hyperion going for this bottom fort. They're just going to try and burst it down before Sky5 can even respond. Dr. Sigeli just zoning off.
To rotate down as well, but it's probably too late for that. I'm pretty sure the fort goes down here. Yep. So very nicely done. But Wholesome Halfwits there, just noticing that the rest of Sky5 was top.
Good Q out of Neutrons to block the Varian charge coming in there. There's the Ring of Frost going down, often the taunt, but Raynor's just outside. And it looks like everybody's going to walk away here, nobody really dying. And yeah, Blaze could just easily clear the Shaman camp up in the top lane. And he loses about half the wall, but no real large structure damage there as a result. So yeah, Sky5 kind of falling a little bit behind on the macro sense. Both teams just kind of getting set up for the objective here. Chromie dropping her time traps.
I think the thing with Sky5's draft is that they're happy that the amount of ults just got used there, because they will still have taunt up for this next fight. It's already up now. So they're still able to get the burst combo that they're looking for. Looking to potentially taunt Dr. Sigeli, but he's able to walk out just fine. And now getting slowed by the slowing sands, and a nice stun from G-Money Drums, and a pull from... Oh wow, okay.
Blaze gets rooted, has to drop Bunker.
Yep, and he should be out as well, and both teams just able to tap, lick their wounds, and potentially come back. But this is Sky5 now, who does take control over the objective. Yeah,
both teams having one or two players getting very low, like 20% HP, but nobody actually going down. Lots of cooldowns used there. Wholesome Halfwits is very close to 13s. Not the most impactful talent here, but it does help.
And yeah, Goliath right now looking for another taunt on somebody if he can find it, but it looks like he will get engaged on instead. Another nice stun coming out, but not able to hit Goliath.
Ooh, Chromie getting huge Dragon Breath damage. Jaina and Sylvanas are going to go down. The Holy Word Salvation just a little bit late there coming out. Dr. Sigeli nearly out of mana, going to have to back out. And I think this one's going to go over to Wholesome Halfwits again. The minion count was pretty close there, up to about 15, 18 or so, but now Wholesome Halfwits, with control of the shrine, going to push that up to 40. They could potentially even try and hold this and go for the siege camp down here. I like this out of Neutrons. Good call.
Oh, yes, this play. I think Sky5 in that fight was a little bit too split. I think Sylvanas and Jaina were a little bit isolated from the rest of the team, so Anduin wasn't able to get the value from Holy Word Salvation onto either of them, and they both fell there.
And they're showing two people top right now, so they could potentially even invade this other siege camp from Sky5. Doesn't look like they're going to quite do that. Probably going to finish off the shrine here. Dr. Sigeli going to get some globes. And Sky5 actually going to sneak away the siege camp for themselves. Should minorly help the defense, but this fort is probably already gone, so...
I just wonder how much more value will be gotten. Oh, a nice Blessed Shield coming out from
Ferrell has to be careful, yeah. The Infernal Mortars do a ton of damage, so he gets chunked really hard there. Goliath trying to peel back, gets body blocked by Dr. Sigeli. And Thrall goes down as well. Chromie...
Honestly, I'm going to have to take my words. This Chromie is absolutely out of her mind.
She's doing work, for sure.
She managed to stack relatively early, so now, like, this siege with Hyperion and with
Oh,
Oh,
the
a
Punisher
nice
jumping
stun
on
onto
Jaina.
Phil, and
Oh my gosh. Absolutely deleted.
wow, okay. So now with 3 dead, that's definitely a keep that goes down, but I wonder if they're going to make the choice to go to core. Death time is relatively low, so Varian and Thrall should be up
I think a
soon.
core call here is possible, but it's very tricky. They can blow up this Sylvanas. Yeah, if they keep staggering deaths,
Okay, that'll
though,
do it. Nading
Varian
on Goliath
is
now, he
out
doesn't
pretty
have the
far,
protect
already getting
anymore, and
poked
he's now
down pretty hard.
slowed.
Has the protect, is able to get out. They're doing core damage already. Blaze and Johanna just peeling. Sunder comes out. Rainer's getting pretty low. Has to back out. Thrall is also getting very low. Protect comes down from Anduin. Nobody interrupting. Ring misses. Oh, it only hits Johanna. Taunt coming out on Rainer. The core is dropping. 20%
Alchemite is
health.
going down.
Thrall's going down. Chromie is just free
They're
hitting the
just
core this whole
auto-attacking like
time.
crazy. And that should be it. Wow, okay, GG.
What a game. Wholesome Halfwits
I
taking the first victory.
Wow. I feel so bad. I was a doubter of the Chromie, and then she just played out of her mind there. Even like auto-attacking the core, like just the sheer amount of damage that she has between her Qs now being able to get the buildings and just her auto attacks all splashing, especially with the echo. Like I guess that's a lot more core damage than I anticipated, so they were just easily able to end there.
Yeah, we can see on that screen right there, Chromie just doing, you know, almost 50% more damage than pretty much anybody else in the game as far as hero damage goes. And yeah, just they didn't really have an answer of a way to get onto her. You know, they have the Sunder and the Wailing Arrow really, but those are the only real long range abilities they have. And if Chromie is just able to play back and free hit the front line, especially when you have a Varian who is not really, you know, much of a sturdy main tank, it can be quite tricky. And yeah, they just kept getting picked off really. The Blaze charges off of the slowing sands also were really, really solid from G Money Drums. So
Definitely. I think in general, Sky5 just was never able to execute the draft the way they wanted to. The fact that they weren't really able to get too many effective Ring of Frost onto the taunted target or just blow somebody up outright it meant that they were usually caught in a bad position, and Jaina usually was the one that was getting engaged on as a result. But yeah, very nicely done. Very good game one from Wholesome Halfwits there.
waiting to hear what our map is going to be for game number 2. Sky5 losing that first game does get the choice of first pick or map pick. Not sure which one they're going to go for yet.
And keep in mind that this is a 5-game series, so as the series goes on and more maps get picked, there's only going to be a couple left. So map pick might gain priority to some teams in that case.
So Sky5 choosing map pick, and they're going to take us to Battlefield of Eternity for game number 2.
I think the interesting thing about Battlefield of Eternity is the map that, or the comp that Wholesome Halfwits just ran with the Chromie Rainer works exceedingly well on Battlefield as well. So I do wonder if parts of those that comp might be banned out, especially that Johanna, just the sheer amount of frontline presence that she had in that team, or like that entire game, was just enough that Sky5 was never able to get any picks. So I wonder if that'll get banned out or picked by Sky5 themselves.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that there. That Wholesome Halfwits could pretty much run nearly the same comp and probably do pretty well. Wholesome Halfwits definitely has a larger hero pool, and Sky5's hero pool is more, I would say, skewed towards mages. Like they play some Orphea, some Li Ming, some Kel'Thuzad, some Mephisto. You know, they play some unusual things in there. So I don't think they're
Li Ming, particularly, is someone we can see on this map.
yeah, Li Ming for sure
Does.
is probably the top, I would say, like viable mage pick on Battlefield, but Otherwise, the rest of their hero pool doesn't really fit this map as well, I would say, so it's kind of interesting that they chose it. They might go for the Tracer or the Sonya type stuff as well that we've seen in the past. We've seen Zarya out of them a couple times. Greymane, of course, seen by both teams. Stuff like that, so uh, might see a different draft from them.
Yeah, I do imagine that given the fact that they chose this map, they must have some sort of plan for it, so I'm excited to see what that'll be.
Waiting for both teams to get ready here so we can start up the draft. And this is a best of 5, so with 2 map bans and a map pool of 10, we potentially play 5 games, and there's only 6 maps in the pool. So we might see almost every map here getting played that has not been banned. So
Yeah, and I'm actually really excited to see that because usually, with Division A specifically, like there are definitely a couple of maps that like we love to play, but there's some that just almost never get played. Stuff like Sky Temple or Dragon Drive, for example. So
well, both of those got
there.
banned, unfortunately. So
Well, okay, there you go.
won't be
That would do
seeing
it.
either of those. But yeah, so Wholesome Halfwits banned Sky Temple and Braxis, and Sky5 banned Dragonshire and Volskaya.
Okay, interesting.
But one thing I was going to mention with that is that a lot of teams do have like 1 or 2 maps that they kind of have like specialty drafts on or something like that. I don't know what I would call them exactly, but so yes, Wholesome Halfwit's kind of known for Volskaya, I would say. So seeing that get banned makes sense. But Sky5 I think has a bit of a more interesting potential.
And it looks like both teams are just about ready to go, potentially. I see a Pirate R in the chat, so
Yes, I see many
many
R's,
Rs.
but no draft starting yet. No button pushing.
Okay, so both teams have called that they are
Oh,
ready.
there it
But
goes.
oh,
Okay.
here we go.
That was just a
Right,
very long
that's
delay. We're gonna go
exactly.
with
The
that.
caster curse.
No one was
Typical.
AFK,
Every time complain
not
about it.
realizing they're the host. No, nothing of that had occurred.
Of course not. And the Vega almost instantly banned again, so Wholesome Half was just not wanting to deal with that.
Yeah, draft could be a little bit differently here because Sky5 had first pick in the first game. So far, first 2 bans still identical. But now they have the option of first picking Sylvanas for themselves, which I'm sure they would be quite happy to do.
Especially on this map, because the snowball potential of winning the first Immortal and just running it down with Sylvanas straight, like, it's relatively insane. Are these the same bands as last
Do you
time?
see the
These
Kel'Thas
seem
and
very
the
similar.
Stukov? Yes, those are the exact same bands.
Okay,
Leeming
and this
picked
time a Li Ming
first.
pick.
Interesting. So I did
Well,
mention
and
that Sky5's hero pool leaned towards mages, and then
right.
with Li Ming being the highest priority mage for this map, just picking it away makes them potentially in a weird spot for their hero pools. They are going to take the Jaina.
Right. We do see a Jaina pick, which is interesting. She does have a Q at level 7 with cooldown reduction, so she does have some immortal DPS, but... Okay, and Sylvanas picked as well to make sure that they do have DPS. So it's 2 strong picks coming out from Sky5 there. But a very high priority on DPS means that, yep, there's the Ana Johanna going over to Wholesome Halfwits again.
So I think both teams kind of, or at least Wholesome Halfwits here is pretty comfortable with getting what they want so far in this draft, it seems.
Right, and there's still other heroes out there which also have like a ton of immortal DPS. Greymane is still available, for example. Maybe something like a Bala, but I'm not too sure about that, especially against a Jaina. But there's definitely options available.
They're gonna
Okay, the
ban the
Vayner from
Rainer.
last game being banned.
Yep, makes sense. Here, I might expect Sonya to be banned from Wholesome Halfwits. Not
I think
sure what
Sonya, I
else
think
they could
some
go
kind of
for.
lane tank.
They could
Like,
ban Tyrande as
that's
well.
a good
That would
one.
make sense.
Oh yeah, Tyranda's mark is very good on that model as well. I could see that. But no, the Anduin instead, respecting Alan by default. Amazing pulls last game.
Yeah, with Li Ming wanting those resets, having the save tool there from Anduin, probably a good thing to get rid of. Especially with the protect ult that he went last game as well. That can shut down some resets pretty quick.
This does give Sky5 the opportunity to do. Oh no, okay. So they do go for a Lucio instead, and then I wonder if they'll pick the main tank here. No, Zarya. Interesting.
I
Who's their solo laner going to be?
Well, it could be Zarya, but I do like the Zarya into the Li Ming. She can just walk up, tank those skill shots, and uh, just gain energy from it. So it does make the Li Ming poke neutralized quite a bit, and then Lucio can help with that as well with the team-wide sustain for sure. Although he's a little bit weak early game, but this map doesn't have too much fighting early game.
Fair enough. I
They're
think I'd
gonna
like to
take the
see a last
Blaze.
pick Garrosh from Sky5 because Garrosh works really well with Zarya's shield, and with Lucio to speed him up, like Garrosh might be able to find some engages onto the backline of Li Ming and now Lunar as well.
I 100% agree with you. I think Garrosh looks really strong here from Sky5. They could potentially go. Oh, I was gonna say with a Diablo or something else instead, but going for the Muradin.
Muradin.
They have not
Also with
played
the
any
Baron skin.
Muradin all season, from what I can see.
Yeah, like Garrosh would have had some problems into Lunara now that I'm looking at it as well, just because Luna's very easily able to kite away from
Yeah, it's
Garrosh's
going to be hard for
relatively
Garrosh to
high
ever get a
abilities.
throw on Li Ming or Lunara. And Ana's probably going to be playing far enough back as well that it would be tough. So if your only kill targets are Johanna and Blaze, could be tricky. Overall, I think I'm going to say Wholesome Halfwits wins this draft, but not by much. It's pretty close. So I do think Sky5 can run this back. I think it's mostly going to depend on uh, the Zarya and the Muradin play. If they can get, a good CC chain and Zarya ult combo on somebody and Jaina can burst them, then I think they could definitely have a strong presence in these team fights. They're less race focused and definitely more team fight oriented though.
Definitely, but with the Zarya, like they should be able to defend the Immortal relatively effectively, just literally standing in front there.
Alright, game 2. We have Wholesome Halfwits on the left, Dr. Sigeli on Johanna, Frucklepants on Ana, Ace Asteria on Lunara, Neutrons on Li Ming, and G-Money Drums on Blaze.
And on the right side for Sky5, we have Alan by default playing the Lucio, Furl on Jaina again, Goliath playing Muradin, Apple Mike on the Zarya, and finally Quan Finnegan, who's going to be in the solo lane, on Sylvanas.
Yeah, Sylvanas solo lane is a bit interesting. I would have expected Zarya to be up there, I guess.
I guess against the Blaze, like she's never going to be in too much danger, right? Blaze's engage is relatively telegraphed, so Quan Finnegan should be able to stay out of range of that.
Yeah, and the wave clear being a little bit less important on this map, so Sylvanas can probably get pushed in by the Blaze and not worry too much. Goliath looking for a flank there, looking for those Q stacks, not really finding anything too impactful there.
Look at the energy on Apple Mike right there. Like, I think that's exactly how Sky5s are going to have to play this. Like, with Goliath and Apple Mike both being relatively aggressive, just to make sure that Apple Mike gets as much energy as possible to get that damage out in team fights.
We do see Li Ming going for the Aether Walker, Sylvanas going for the Dagger stacking quest, Feel the Heat out of Zarya, Third Wind out of Muradin, and Smooth Moves from Lucio. Those are a bit unusual. See Laws of Hope again out of the Johanna, and Hippity Hop on Lunara.
So that's an interesting talent. It increases the move speed bonus of her trait by 10% if she hasn't auto-attacked or taken damage for 4 seconds, but on this map, I'm not sure how much rotation, or how much of a rotation she'll actually need to do.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the Sentinel Wisp personally, but we'll see if she's roaming top lane quite a few times or whatever. Just having that faster rotation speed might help out to get a gank on the Sylvanas or something potentially. And then yeah, Zarya just sitting at above half energy pretty much this whole game. They're getting a bit of a strong push on the bot lane. They have pretty strong wave clear with the Jaina, although Johanna's not too bad herself, but both teams just
Yeah,
kind of
I
trading
think that
blows.
yeah, both teams aren't really going to be able to find too much kill pressure. But it's just for the sake of holding this lane and making sure to get as much wave clear as possible.
We see Lunara starting up this Shaman camp on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. It's a bit early, they might hold the cap on this, but it does make them a little bit vulnerable to an invade potentially on the side of Sky5. We just see Zarya and Lucio walking in for now. Everybody leaving bottom.
Right.
Sky5 losing some XP from the bot wave as well to contest this. And here
Blaze
comes
is going to
Blaze.
rotate down first.
So this is now
Not
a
able to find a stun.
4v5 from Sky5. Dr. Sigeli very low on mana. Gonna have to jump out. And yeah, Wholesome Halfwits able to secure getting their camp. They do cap it a tiny bit early, but it means that Sky5 I think isn't going to be able to get their camp at all, so still a win for Wholesome Halfwits there overall, I would say. They're gonna
Definitely.
try and start their
Skyface should
camp
be able to clear the
still
top, though.
instead, it looks like. Yeah, that's kind of strange. Jaina is also very low mana. We do see possession out of the Sylvanas at level 4.
Right, so we're going to see Sky5 be able to clear out bottom lane, but this does give Wholesome Halfwits the free clear on their model for now, and they're likely going to get that halfway point without any contestation from Sky5 at all.
Yep, Dr. Sigeli just poking his head in on that camp, seeing if they were doing it, and they are, but I think he's just happy to walk away and take the halftime victory.
Right, and with Sky5 still on their camp right now, they'll be able to finish it up now, but unfortunately that means that they won't be able to defend their model at all, so they're just going to do what damage they can. Dr. Sajali stepping up to try and get some defense on there, with G-Money Dumps as well, but the main point of this is just a delay.
Yep, gets a good blind, negates a fair amount of damage there, and Wholesome Halfwit's gonna win the first Immortal. Gonna go to the bot lane. They do have a little bit of siege damage in the top lane. Leeming and Blaze gonna pop up there for some spells to help clear that Shaman camp. And they're probably just gonna try and...
stays inside the solo lane. I wonder if it would have been better to put Zarya in the top lane and have Sylvanas down there bottom so that way she could clear out their Immortal a little bit easier.
Murden getting chunked a little bit hard there. Has the tap, no real problem from him. We do see Lunara going for the Nature's Culling at level 4, so she'll be doing a lot of damage to the Immortals and on structures as well, so it does help on the pushes as well. So quite strong talent from her there.
Okay, Wholesome Halfwits not able to get too much value aside from the front wall of the bottom port, and they're just going to walk away right now. So okay, with that, Sky5 didn't actually lose too much, and they're actually up on XP right now, surprisingly enough. So with that, they're going to go down and potentially check out this bottom siege camp. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do this.
Yeah, Li Ming recalled there, possibly low on mana. This camp did get pretty low from the Jaina Blizzard already going down, and Dr. Sigeli gonna get stunned out there. Gonna try and contest, but is just gonna walk off the point and give it over to Sky5. And they should be able to clear this pretty fine, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem for Wholesome Halfwits. But they are, again, slightly more behind in XP now than they were previously, so...
And I guess like the main thing is just getting this off the map in the first place. And it's stun onto Lunar, but that's probably not going to get too much.
Dr. Sigeli getting burned very hard by the Zarya there, yeah. He was just melting before he got behind his gate there.
I think, especially with that level 7 on Zarya to the limit, which increases her basic attack size, that means that she's able to get so much damage onto Dr. Sigeli.
Yeah, and there, Sky5 is going to get a pretty strong counter push there in the bot lane, able to trade some structure damage as well. Not quite getting the full front wall, but not too shabby for themselves either. Bruiser camp on the side of Wholesome Halfwits going to be up in 30 seconds, so not in time for this Immortal. They might be able to do it at halftime, but both teams probably just going to set up here for the Immortals. Johanna trying to catch the last bot wave of XP there, so they don't lose out on that. Sylvanas, meanwhile, Blaze had to recall, so Sylvanas pushing in a wave top lane, that Wholesome Halfwits is going to lose out on that. And they're playing defensive. They're looking for... He gets the
Goliath
stun
getting a
on Li
nice
Ming.
stun on Li Ming,
Yeah, and
and
she's just
there's the damage that we were talking about.
just going to go down very early there. Li Ming going Seeker at level 7 instead of the Calamity that we, more commonly see, I would say, especially with the Dominance at level 4.
I could definitely see Seeker getting value on this map. A nice stun from G Money Jones onto Goliath, but I don't think they'll be able to get too much value, especially with those Zarya shields, just able to keep the rest of your team alive.
Yep, Murden dropping a little bit low, but he has the third wind, so he will be fine. Something to note with Sylvanas going Possession is that she's going to be doing a fair bit less Immortal damage as well, since Merc Queen does help your Immortal DPS. Jaina dropping very low, does go down, but they trade out Blaze as well. Dr. Sajali getting pretty low. Zarya just turreting with like nearly full energy, just burning down every member of Wholesome Halfwits right now. And Murden stays alive. Yeah. Zarya so far is MVP of this game.
Yeah, Goliath was very, very low that entire fight, and then Lunar and Li Ming both stepped up to try and finish him off with any bit of damage possible, and right into an Immortal stun.
And I thought Wholesome Halfwits was going to do this this Shaman camp at halftime, but Sky5 is the one who ends up doing it, so they even get a camp steal out of it. And it looks like they're set up in quite a strong position to win this first Immortal there. Got to be careful of those Immortal stuns, although Zarya's going to use it to get some energy, I guess.
Right. The important thing here is that they have level 10, and the combo that I'm noticing immediately is the Graviton Surge and the Ring of Frost. This time I like Ring of Frost a lot more, just because this time there's actually a hit confirmed to make sure that it can hit on some enemies.
Yep, agreed. And Sky5 also tagging their own Shaman camp, able to have that pushing in the top lane with them with this Immortal, so good call from them. They are still up level 10s, so Wholesome Halfwits going to have to be very careful here. Just Johanna.
So this time they're choosing to push as 5, which I agree with because they do have the Sylvanas factor, right? And with Blaze down in the bottom lane, like there might be a potential pick that they're able to find here early.
Yeah, I think here they're more looking for like the keep wall more than just the fort, possibly even the keep itself. So yeah, I do like the call for all 5 to push here, like you mentioned. The Sylvanas pressure just kind of multiplies the push power of everybody nearby, so you do want to push with the team rather than by yourself.
Right, G Money Drums is still staying down bottom and auto-attacking.
Ooh, Furl gets chunked really hard by the Li Ming spells there. Has to be pretty careful stepping up that far without minions in front of him.
This Immortal Soul has half of his shield left, so this might even be the full keep.
Yeah, this looks like a keep to me. Sylvanas should have trade up pretty soon, able to disable a second time. Blaze going in for a stun, hits 3. We do see the Graviton and the Ring go down. Hits Johanna. Blaze gets in the bunker. Lunara jumping in the back line. Dr. Sajali is very low, gonna go down. Silence comes out onto Blaze. He might not have a jet propulsion to get himself out of there. Goes in actually on the Jaina and Johanna there. They do finish off the keep. The Immortal is very low. He's probably... Oh, they're gonna try and pressure the core here a little bit. This is a bit optimistic, I think, on the side of Sky5. Stun goes out onto Murden. He's going to be able to jump out. Furl has to be a little bit careful here. They do get out in time. Sky5 probably going to go for this top siege camp here. Just get that off the map. Wholesome Halfwits in the meantime probably going to trade out the bottom siege camp as well. And yeah, strong push from the side of Sky5. That is the Sylvanas factor, I would say.
Exactly. They got the full fort, the keep, and they were looking to get the core as well, but Sylvanas can't disable that, unfortunately. Sky5 currently looking to go down to the bottom lane, potentially contest that siege camp, but they're not going to be able to get there in time. They should be able to get level 13 from this wave, though, so we'll see if they try and force it.
Yeah, Dr. Sajali is pushing in here pretty aggressively, but is getting low himself. Goliath also very low. Lunara jumping in the back line onto Jaina. She's going to drop very low. Sylvanas barely escaping, 10% HP or so. This fort might go down from Wholesome Halfwits' push here with their siege camp that they got in the bot lane. Sky5 going to try and defend. Zarya having to build up that energy. Lost most of it on the rotate there. Murden has healed back up to full. Dr. Jelly pressuring in again. Pops the Iron Skin. Is able to back
level
off.
13 for Sky5, I'm not sure if Wholesome Halfwits really
and they do have this this siege camp pushing with now 2 catapults in the top lane, so Johanna is going to have to recall for that. Sky5 probably going to be able to get the wall here and then focus the Immortals. They possibly might even go for the...
They still do have Sylvanas.
Or at least the healing well as a potential option for them. No, it looks like they're going to pressure for the full fort here. You know, Wholesome Halfwits can't really pressure the Immortal themselves, so They think they have plenty of time to do this. It does give Wholesome Halfwits a little bit more time to get level 13s, but not the end of the world here. Breezy Camp will respawn for Wholesome Halfwits here as well, so that might be a potential in halftime as well. Dr. Sigeli pops the Unstoppable.
Oh.
Ring comes down
Oh no,
with the Gravitron. Silence comes down. Good sound barrier by Lucio, keeping everybody healthy. Lunara's going to go down. Bunker comes down, hoping to try and get everybody out. Neutron's having to blink out. Blaze getting very low. Jet Propulsion's in on Goliath, but just the one kill on Lunara. And they are going to try and steal away this Shaman camp as well, like they did last time. On the side of Sky5.
Again, the main problem with that fight was like Neutrons and Lunara were both able to get onto one target there, but the Apple Mike shield was able to easily deflect all of that damage, and they weren't able to find that initial pick.
Dr. Sigeli popping Iron Skin there, trying to stand on the point, but they actually waited out, capping the final minion there so that the channel wasn't up yet and he had to back off. And then they were able to cap that for themselves on the side of Sky5. We do see Jaina and Murden kind of playing defense here. Lucio rotating back and forth. Sylvanas and Zarya, meanwhile, just burning down the Immortal slowly. And they do have an engage on Dr. Sigeli, dropping very low as a result of the Jaina damage. One more Ice Lance should do it. Goliath dropping very low, has to jump out himself. We do see the Gravitron coming in again. No Ring of Frost for another 10 seconds. Blaze dropping very low, doesn't have Bunker anymore. Pops the Unstoppable, and does go down to a Zarya grenade. Meanwhile, Lunara back alive.
Anymore, so she will go down as well. Wow, okay.
And
2-for-0 trade, and it looks like they're going to push it down bottom keep.
Yeah, they're not even caring
Sylvanas.
about the Immortal anymore. They're just straight up pushing. Looks like Furl's going to go back, try and drop some damage, finish off the Immortal there. Furl is a little bit low on mana with all these fights going on. Li Ming also quite low on mana, although she will have the Nano Boost from Ana to help her out.
And honestly, an interesting 13 coming up from Furl with Ice Barrier instead of Icy Veins, which we so normally see. But in this case, I do like it. Just another way of preventing the burst that, or the poke that Lunar and Li Ming push out.
Immortal there finally goes down. They are able to tag their own Shaman camp here. Level 16's picked up on the side of Sky5.
And again, with the Sylvanas, that keep is basically like, it's 100% gone. The only question is if Wholesome Halfwits will be able to defend their core here. And with a full shield Immortal, like, running down the bot lane, I'm not so sure they will be able to.
Yeah, I think this is very potentially a game-winning push here from the side of Sky5. They do have to be very careful about this flank from Wholesome Halfwits that might come out here.
The only play they can make, which is going for the potential flank, but
just cutting the wave for now.
Okay, so this is the fight they're going to take. Dr. Sigeli looking to engage onto Furl here. A nice Ring of Frost hitting G-Money drums, but a nice Bunker to just counteract that. And Jaina is the one who does go down to the Leaping Strikes from Lunara, but everyone else is relatively low. Lunara does go down first, and Freckleface is soon to follow. Meanwhile, Dr. Sigeli getting very, very low by Apple, Mike, and Goliath. And an absolute bloodbath, honestly.
Yeah, Li Ming not able to really get any resets there. Unfortunately, kind of sealing the teamfight victory there for Sky5. And yeah, just the Lucio Sound Barrier, I think, negated a lot of damage, and this push should be on core. They have like 5 catapults in the top lane, plus the Shaman camp, and this core is just melting. So yeah, GG's, Sky5, taking game 2, and we're all evened up.
We got a series.
We got a
Look
series.
at that. 1-1.
And overall that game, I mentioned it partway through, I think Zarya, definitely my MVP. I mean, wow, I'm surprised she even did more damage than Sylvanas and Jaina for sure. Let me take a quick peek here. Oh, we can't see how many stacks Sylvanas had just quite. I wish I would have looked at that in the game. I'm trying to see if I can see it on my overlay in the game.
Yeah, I noticed early in the game during the solo lane that she wasn't able to get too many stacks off of Blaze, but potentially she was able to, like, in the team fights. But
yeah, she took the...
yeah, definitely Zarya being the MVP of that game.
The standard dagger build there. Yeah, and the damage from Wholesome Halfwits just seemed to be a little bit too delayed and kind of spread out. Like, you don't really have the burst for Li Ming. They didn't really have the lockdown for it. You know, Johanna and Blaze were just getting punished by the Zarya pretty much the whole game. And, you know, if they don't have the lockdown to set up the Li Ming burst, it was really hard for them to find kills. They only found 2 on Jaina the whole game, so...
Right, and... yeah, again, like, every single time, like, it was always that Zarya factor that just prevented their basically they're full engaged, right? Anyone that Johanna, Blessed Shields, or Blaze manages to stun, like both of them managed to find very, very good engages, but there's just unfortunately a lack of follow-up because of the Zarya shield preventing all of that follow-up from occurring.
I would say honorable mention for Lucio as well, with the
Oh,
sound
definitely.
barriers. And so next map is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Tomb of the Spider Queen. And it was picked by Wholesome Halfwits. So far, both teams, when they lose, are taking map pick. So that's a little bit interesting, kind of unusual.
I think maybe that's just the fact that it's a 5-game series, or the fact that it's a best of 5 instead of a best of 3 means that like the teams are going to put a lot more priority onto map pick.
Well, and also so far, the team that has picked the map has won that map. So
True. So it's Tomb of the Spider Queen, so I get the feeling that Johanna will be insta-banned by one of these teams.
most likely, yeah, I think it's probably a mistake to allow the first pick team to be able to first pick Johanna here. So I would expect Johanna to get banned, probably Kel'Thas as well.
Right. Potentially the Sylvanas as well. Again, both teams running the Sylvanas. Like, it's definitely a very good pick on this map as well.
Yeah, not her strongest map. There's not really as many camps or macro like benefits that you can get out of her, but you can go into the wave clear talent instead, and she's always good at pushing, and so in a map that's pretty much entirely about at pushing and taking care of those lanes and having the wave clear. So Blaze has been a pretty big factor, I think, on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. I'm wondering if Sky5 potentially bans it here, especially with this map being so important on wave clear. Wholesome Halfwits is also
Yeah.
known to run some other, let's say, wave clear focused heroes like Zul and some other things. So
I think on this map specifically, just because of how tight some of the tropes are, like Blaze is definitely going to be a priority pick or a good pick for Wholesome Halfwits to have. So I very much wonder if Skypack will give it to them or not.
do have everybody in the lobby here, just waiting to get started. Oh, just kidding. Oh,
Oh,
one
well,
person
no,
going AFK,
got hard baited.
completely jebaited.
Honestly, aside from those bans, though, like I don't really know what else to expect from either team here. Like I feel like there's just so many different ways that they can get
Yeah,
hit.
there's definitely lots of ways. So I mentioned last game that Mage is probably known for their wave clear, although Mephisto maybe not, maybe not Kel'Thuzad quite as much, but Orphea, Jaina as well, Kael'thas, probably all going to be quite strong. You have Tracer and Tassadar. Tassadar is pretty good wave clear that we've mentioned a couple times. Even Zarya is like not bad in terms of wave clear. Um,
True. I do wonder if this is when Apple Max Tracer is going to come out.
and then Wholesome Halfwits has played some other kind of more like aggressive stuff. Like we mentioned the Zul, but then they've also played stuff like Kerrigan. They've played Tyrael. Both teams have played Kira a couple times. Junkrat probably going to be pretty popular here. Um, there's definitely quite a few options. Rexar even played by both teams in the offlane, so we might see that come out. Although winning the offlane not as important on this map compared to something like Dragonshire, but still can be helpful if you deny those gems that over time it adds up. So
Right, especially with just how small this map is in general. Like the rotation from mid to bottom isn't as far as it might be on something like Sky, for example.
yeah, and controlling those rotations is definitely like the main most important thing. So if you have Misha able to scout those and face check those, that can be the difference between somebody on your team face checking and losing the game, and just losing a Misha for 25 seconds or so.
I mean, honestly, I would take losing a team member any day. Misha is probably top priority
Of course.
in any team's eyes. Alright, so last time, the second I started complaining, the game began. So,
Yep, we do
how does
have
this on?
the R's coming out. We have a
Oh,
countdown. We have a number 3.
we have a 3.
We
We don't
have
have anything else.
no number
Oh,
2.
oh no, where are
Oh,
we? I
we have a 2 and a 1 now.
somewhere around
We did it.
-5 now. Okay, we're good. And the game begins.
So yeah, I would expect Johanna, Kel'Thas at the very least, probably both going to be banned away here. I think the Jaina has been pretty strong, especially last game when they had the Zarya setup for it, that they might try and ban that away as well. But this is definitely kind of much more open to some shenanigans.
Yeah, definitely, and it looks like Sky5 respects that just by taking their time with the bans here.
And they are first pick, so they might want to potentially leave the Johanna open, so they don't necessarily need to ban that themselves. They are going to ban the Zul.
Okay,
Probably
so
smart.
Yeah, just get rid of that X Factor.
Rhaegar ban,
And,
as
okay.
it has been for the previous 2 games from Wholesome Halfwits. Here, I would most likely expect Kel'Thas to be banned. Wholesome Halfwits seems to really like Ana, and Kel'Thas being their main mage that they play as well, and probably their most common wave clear hero outside of Junkrat. They are going to go with the ETC again. Makes sense. That is Wholesome Halfwits' secondary tank, and so if they're planning to take away Johanna for themselves, then it is tank joking Wholesome Halfwits a bit harder. And we did see in the previous game where the tanks were able to get punished pretty hard on both sides. So I think in this series so far, they're going to stick with the Stukov ban, Wholesome Halfwits, giving away the Johanna potentially. They're going to first pick the Kel'Thas themselves. Interesting.
So I wonder if we'll just see an Ana Johanna, which basically has been the rotation for Wholesome Halfwits every time they get the ability to do so.
Yeah, I think it's more effective on this map than it was on the previous map, so I would be more okay with it here. But with Kel'Thas banned, their options for pairings with Ana are a bit tricky, although the Chromie in Game 1 did plenty of work. They're going to go with Sylvanas Johanna. I like that. It's pretty solid.
Okay, yeah. That definitely means that they'll be able to flex their healer pick a little bit later. They shouldn't be too worried about that, because the worst that happens is that Sky5 picks one healer here and bans one more, and then they have the rest to choose from.
Goliath gonna pick up the Muradin again. And they take away the Ana for themselves. Makes sense. Pairs well with the Kel'Thas.
So honestly, a very nice draft from Sky5 so far, just taking away the Kel'Thas and Ana, just making sure that they don't, that Wholesome Halfwits doesn't have either of those options available to them. But
yeah, and Zul rules in Twitch chat mentioning here that the Zul player is actually not here. We have Ace Asteria subbing in for Crooked Smile on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. So that is part of the scouting that you can do. Phoenix going to be banned. One of the most common played picks from Sky5. And if they don't have Sylvanas either, their main other DPS option is Tracer. They might go for a Zarya again. That could be an option. Zarya is decently strong, and they played it well last game, so.
I think the difference is that this time, Wholesome Halfwits hasn't really picked any poke style DPSs. They have Sylvanas, but I don't know if Zarya will be as effective as it was against the Li Ming Lunar last game.
And they do ban the Lucio. So healer on the side of Wholesome Halfwits, we could see Anduin, we could see Tyrande. Malfurion has been played a couple times from them. I think those are their most common healers. They have played Deckard as well, a fair amount. So
I'm not sure if Deckard would work as well into this. They're electing to go for the Anduin instead. And I do like the Anduin, just being able to pull the, if Muradin stuns and Kel'Thas follows up with a stun, just being able to yoink that person away and to safety is very, very nice to have.
Yeah, especially with the Jaina, I think having that defensive tool is good. Deckard is pretty strong here at controlling those rotations, though. His triangle is just gigantic, so especially paired with Johanna, that's a pretty strong way to make those rotations a bit risky. They are going to pick
Okay,
up
and
the
we do
Zarya
see the
again.
Zarya again.
And
And this time
Sonya.
with a Sonya to pair with it. And I like this a lot, actually. Just the shield that Zarya provides allows Sonya to dive so much deeper than like she would otherwise be able to do so. And Ana being a long range healer as well, like she should be able to keep that really heavy front line alive.
Yeah, I think the Murd and Sonya pair just pressuring the backline, especially Anduin himself on the side of Wholesome Halfwits is going to be Sky5's main game plan. And they're going to pick up the Thrall.
That's in all aspects.
It is more pokey. I'm not sure. Like, it's okay into Sonya. It doesn't really have an interrupt for the Whirlwind, so that's potentially a problem there. But it does have a bit more burst and like engage tools to, slow things down or disengage. Sunder is very good at peeling and stuff like that. So it's helpful
So
maybe
I
more
think
for the team fight, less so for the lane phase.
Yeah, in the lane phase in general, though, like with Wholesome Halfwits having both Johanna and Jaina, and potentially Sylvanas is level 4 if she decides to go for the wave clear talent, like that's so much wave clear coming out from their side, and I'm just slightly concerned that maybe Sky5 might get out-rotated just by the sheer amount of wave clear that they have. Like, their wave clear is only Kael'thas, it looks like, and Muradin, Zarya, both of them aren't going to be easily able to clear those waves out effectively.
Yeah, I would say these drafts are pretty close. I think I would still give the edge to Sky5 here, but not by much. It's. I think this is the closest draft we've seen of the 3 games so far.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
All right. In game 3, Wholesome Halfwits on the left side, Dr. Sigelli on Johanna, Ace Hysteria on Jaina, Neutrons on Sylvanas, G-Money Drums on Thrall, and Frecklepants on Anduin.
And on the right-hand side for Sky5, we have Pearl playing the Kael'thas, Apple Mike on the Zarya again, Goliath on Muradin again, Alan by default playing Ana, and finally Juan Finnegan playing that Sonya.
And yeah, rotations are the name of the game for sure. We see Sylvanas going for the Might of the Banshee Queen now. Laws of Hope still out of Johanna. Feel the Heat from Zarya again. Third Wind as well. And Sonya holding her level 1 pick for now.
Okay, going for Warpaint instead. It means that she doesn't win the lane against Thrall as effectively, but in teamfight she will be able to heal off of any auto attacks that she does.
Yep, we see Jaina and Johanna clearing the wave pretty fast there, able to drop the Blizzard.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like, the fact that it took them maybe all of 2 seconds to clear out that lane, they could have rotated to top and had that already cleared out. If they get a rotation going, it'll be very, very effective.
Yep, Kael'thas, pretty strong wave clear himself. And I think the Muradin is going to be taking a lot of punishment here, stepping up to collect those gems. So the third wind probably going to get a fair bit of value over the course of this game. Bomb spread onto Jaina there. Got to be careful of those on minions.
Right, not too much going to happen.
Dr. Sigelli already used Iron Skin, pops the second one there, getting very low, has to be yoinked out by Anduin, is going to spread a bomb, but not going to be finished off on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. So,
like, Anduin's just over there, he sees a teammate in danger, going for the bubble, and he just gets a bomb for his trouble.
Yep.
Hate to see that.
Classic healer life. Do everything right, and your teammates punish you for it.
Pretty much, and then they blame you afterwards.
Of course. So, team's still just rotating here, nobody going for any camps. Dr. Sigelli, again, getting a lot of punishment, has a bomb, not going to spread at that time.
Down, though, but he is able to just walk out.
Goliath getting low, has that third wind ticking away. Both teams have plenty of interrupts for the turn-ins there. Don't imagine we'll see those anytime soon. Dr. Sigelli, again, taking a lot of punishment, has the anti-heal grenade on the side of Ana, but is able to stay alive.
Zarya just getting a lot of value. Every time that Johanna steps up and Jaina looks to get a combo on anybody, the Zarya shield's just always there to protect.
Yeah, Zarya stepping up now a bit too far, getting chunked out herself, has to back off. Dr. Sigelli with another bomb, almost not going to spread it there. Both teams losing a couple minions in the top lane here, but they're both going to catch the second half of that wave.
A nice E from Neutrons just to get out of that situation. Nicely done there.
Yeah, and Jaina's mana is now completely empty, so overall I would say Sky5 now probably going to have a bit of an advantage in this early game, able to keep up that wave clear. I think they've controlled the globes a little bit better potentially.
Meanwhile, at
Goliath.
the bottom lane, we do see Quan Finnegan able to get that siege camp and get the majority of the wave bottom as well. So
Yeah,
nicely done there, and that will be boss lane pushing in.
the Warpaint Shot of Fury combo, very good at soloing camps. We do see Merc Queen
Very
coming
good.
out of Sylvanas here. Not the most value on this map, but you know, still good. I'm not actually sure if it works on the web weavers. It might. I don't know if they count as monsters, but anyway, it might help
Ace
with
is
clearing
very
those out.
back there while the rest of the team fought around him.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was pretty funny.
Big flex. The Siege Giant is able to get one tower bottom and looking to get the second. Ball's not able to step up too far, but although now that the minions are there, potentially he'll be able to. But Quan Finnegan doing a very good job of just guarding those Siege Giants and making sure they stay alive.
Yeah. For now, it seems like neither team really has the lockdown kill pressure, able to actually finish anybody off for a kill on either side.
Right, and we see that with Goliath just getting so low with every single one of these fights, but like he doesn't care. He's murdering. He just jumps out.
Oh, yoink
okay.
again on Johanna. They avoid the bomb spread this time. Thumbs up,
Okay.
learning.
Very nice.
We did
But
see
the
Wholesome
important thing
Halfwits
is that
rotate like 2 or 3 people into that bot lane there, so Sky5
did
solidly
get
ahead of
this.
these rotations on the top side now. Dr. Shigeli getting low. Yoink was already used in the last fight. Anti-heal going down from Ana.
Oh, that's 35 gems on the ground, and they're not going to be able to pick up all those.
Yeah, they did zone
Yeah,
them
that's
off of
about
at
10
least
lost.
about 10. Yeah, 10 or 12 there.
And that does give Quan Finnegan the ability to just turn in the top lane, and that should be the first Weaver wave going over to Sky5. And level 7 as well, so that's very, very good for
Ooh,
their
stun
push.
comes out onto Jaina. She gets follow-up stun by Kel'Thas. Bomb going out on him. Goliath dropping very low from the Sylvanas. Is able to
I feel like Goliath's just
away and
playing
be
with
fine.
fire. Like, every single fight, he just gets lower and lower, but he's like, okay, this is fine, I'm Murden, I don't care.
And they have 5 people in this top lane on the side of Sky5, so this push is going to be very strong from them. Thrall is still in the bot lane. Quan Finnegan taking a lot of damage. Goliath as well, dropping very low. Good stun on Kel'Thas, pressuring the Jaina and the Sylvanas. Furl dropping a little bit low himself, has to get healed up. Spider is still pretty healthy there, able to drop a wave. Hits Freckle Pants. Furl has to be very careful.
Very well.
Good shield on the side of Zarya. Ace
They can
Hysteria
engage
might
on
go down to this
Zarya
bomb.
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Zarya looking
oh,
for the
no.
grenades to finish him off. Not quite able to find it.
Death by Webweaver.
And yeah, Johanna going down on the other side. Neutron stepping up there, has to be very careful. Almost gets sleep darted by the Ana there. And top 4 is going to go down. Mid was cleared out. Thrall working on the bot lane. Looks like this well is going to go down. Yep. And they're still
Yeah, but
pushing
Sky5
on this
doesn't
keep
care.
wall.
They're just gonna push down this keep. They do have a level advantage as well, so I wonder if they'll be able to get the boss and just push it down for an early keep once they get 10.
Goliath has to be a little careful here. Already dropping to half HP. Gets rooted. Still should have a jump out. Looks like he'll be fine.
Yeah, the important thing about this though is like not only did they get the front keep wall, but oh, okay, they're immediately going for boss. They don't care.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like Wholesome Halfwits.
Wholesome Halfwits looking like they're just going to start their bruiser camp and try and trade that out. But yeah, I think Sky5 comes out ahead in that trade for sure.
Definitely. It's just the question of how much more value is he going to be able to get with this boss.
Wholesome Halfwits could possibly have looked for a turn-in as well here. That would have at least helped the defense. I don't think they needed quite 3 people to do that bruiser camp. But they didn't really look for it, and so not able to get a turn-in there. And
Sky5 able to deny that.
yeah, now they're
And it
going to
doesn't
have
look like
to
they're gonna push with the boss.
defend the boss. This should just give Sky5 the opportunity to clear out that camp mid lane, get level 10s for themselves, and probably look for a second turn-in right around after that, and have a solid advantage. Apple Mike getting engaged on, has a bunch of energy though, is getting healed up by Ana. He should be fine.
Yeah, the important thing is that level 10, which is just about to hit for Sky5 though. Like, unfortunately, Wholesome Halfwits was not able to find a turn-in during that time. They are able to clear the boss out with it, getting maybe about half the top key, which isn't too bad, all things considered.
Yep. Sky5 about 15 gems away. Sonya finishing off that mid lane well, and is able to spin herself out of there. Bot lane has been kind of ignored, although we did see the fort go down, and Furl drop down there for a second just to push that wave in, clear it out a little bit.
And we
And
are seeing from Sonya, we have Leap instead of the normal Wrath of the Berserker, which is, now that I think about it, fairly common for Sky5, but
yeah,
should be
well,
interesting
with
to
the
see.
Zarya Grav Bomb, that combo there is going to be quite strong. We see that come out on Neutrons. I think he was dead before the Grav even hit him. Dr. Sigeli getting a lot of pressure here, trying to defend the fort, taking a lot of damage. Apple Mike
He does
getting
have some
a
top
little
roll,
bit
though,
low.
but no,
Spreads the
bomb
bomb
on
to
Ace
Jaina
Hysteria.
again. G-Money Drums now stepping in. The fort does go down. And they do have enough for a turn in now on the side of Sky5, so they might just back off, look for that while they have the kill advantage.
And the important thing is all three keeps are, I mean, all three forts are down now, so these web weavers are going to be pushing directly to the keeps. And with that top keep being so low, and the ability to push down mid or bottom, like, there's a ton of value that can be
Sky5
gotten
looping
here.
around on this Johanna. She's out pretty far on the map. Does pop unstoppable there. Uses
she
the
does
bless
use
shield.
the shield. I
Kael'thas
think he
has the flank.
recognizes-
Misses the stun. Johanna might be able to get away here. Good spear from Sonya and leap by Murden.
Is anyone in range?
They get the stun. Light bomb comes out, trying to keep Dr. Jelly alive. Ring comes down.
Nice ring of
Huge
two.
ring. Mind control
Mind
from...
control as well.
Oh, Sonya's living. Misses the spear.
Oh my gosh.
Neutrons goes down. Grab coming out on Ace Asteria. He's going to go down as well. And
Two people on
Johanna
Sky5
dropped
was
as well.
so low, but no, instead it's just three people from Wholesome Halfwits that goes down, and that's just so unfortunate to see, because this is right as the web weavers are spawning as well.
Yeah, I would say that was a sloppy fight, a bit chaotic on both sides. I hate that. Okay.
We got it.
We got it. And anyway, yeah, Sky5 just able to hold it together a bit better and keep everybody alive. And Wholesome Halfwits, you know, trying to play aggressive, almost looked like they were going to turn it around and catch Sky5 overextending there, but unfortunately gets caught themselves. And this is a pretty big wave here. I don't think this is a core call. These web weavers are not as powerful as boss. Mind control comes out onto Murden, but he's full HP, gets rooted. He should be fine to jump out here, most likely. Well, Bless Shield comes down. He is go down. Light Bomb comes down onto the Sonya and the Zarya there. Sonya's going to spin her way out. Zarya dropping the grab bomb there for Peel. It's a bit of an interesting use case for it, but cool utility. Neat.
Yeah, Johanna using a Condemn to try and get it onto Apple Mike, and now that Ace Asteria has damage on her... Oh, a Sunder
coming out
as well, just trying to get him.
Oh,
but
Sonya leaping onto the Jaina, just
Jaina.
bursting her down from being low already. Is able to spin herself
And able
out.
to get out.
Neutron's taking a lot of
Wow.
punishment from this Zarya, has to use his Haunting Wave. Dr. Sigeli could potentially get dismounted by a grenade here. Looks like they're going to be able to get it out in time. Furl, mid lane. Thrall, pretty low mana. He's just looking for some wave clear here. Stun hits a minion.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Every single one of these fights, like, Wholesome Halfwits gets so close to killing one or two people, but in the end, like, Alan by default is just able to keep them up, and as a result, Sky5 just comes out on top.
Sky5 looking like they might want to go for that Bruiser camp, but decides not worth the risk. They can just back off. Recall, probably take some camps off the map, and just wait until they have some more gems for another turn-in, possibly a boss coming up in 30 seconds. They're going to go for that siege camp in the bot lane. Wholesome Halfwits, even if they get a turn-in here, it's kind of the problem is they need probably 2 turn-ins back-to-back to really pressure any structures, just because the lanes are pushed in so far that the first one won't do a whole lot. So they do get the Bruiser camp.
Yeah.
That should help push mid out. But this top lane is going to be a long-term problem for them with that keep down, so...
Yeah, if I'm Wholesome Halfwits right now, like, I'm looking at that top and that bottom lane, and I need to clear those out before I can look for a turn-in at all, right? Like, especially just to get 13, but more so because the web weavers won't get any value at all otherwise. Currently Johanna looking to get a turn-in, but interrupted. And yeah, it looks like they're just going to back off and clear those lanes instead.
We do see 3 catapults in the top lane. They should be able to clear that up before that does any actual core damage. Yeah, Jane is just going to burst those down. And Sky5, grouped as 5, gonna go for that boss
again.
right as it
They do
respawns.
see people bot lane, so... I don't know if Wholesome Halfwits will be able to rotate to boss in time.
Yeah, here I think Wholesome Halfwits just gonna try and dump those gems before they die with them. And especially Thrall there, holding 44. Anduin as well, gonna try and get those out of their inventory and get a turn in.
They should be able to get these 10 turned-ins, but the problem is that boss that just got capped means that that top lane is going to be a real problem for Wholesome Halfwits now. They're actually looking
Sky5,
to...
yeah, rotating on to Dr. Sigeli here. Their DPS all recalled, so they don't really have any peel or turnaround potential there. Is going to get pulled in by Franco Pants again. Spreading the bomb there. The lesser of 2 evils. Because,
Okay,
yeah,
so
you need
mid
everybody
and
alive
bottom
here.
Yeah, mid and bottom shouldn't get too much value just because the lanes are pushed in, but that boss... Essentially, they're just training in a web weaver for a boss phase. This boss isn't going to get any core damage here, but it just means that they won't be able to get any value with their web weavers at all, which is honestly kind of bad because that's the way that they're going to get back into this game in the first place.
Yep, Sky5 sitting at 36 gems, now probably 39, maybe more than that. They're just probably fine clearing these out, getting level 16 and looking for a turn-in on the back of that. that I'm not sure Wholesome Halfwits can really easily contest. And if they get another turn in here, that probably means bot keep at the very least goes down, if not all 3 keeps, and then they look for a core, I think. Goliath looking for stun on Jaina, lands it, but no real follow-up damage. They're able to peel back. Sonya going in on Johanna. She's able to walk away just fine. And yeah, Wholesome Halfwits just can't step out any further than they are on the map, really, without risking the engage from Sky5. And when you're down 16s, that's... the risk is just not worth it, so you just kind of have to wait for those lanes to come to you. You know, you can freeze them a little bit, but...
Yeah, with them being 14 to 16, it's going to be a long, long time before they're able to find an even fight again. So essentially, they just have to play the waiting game.
Yep, Sonya going to dump her 20. They're going to dump another 25 and now 30 in the bot side. They're probably going to try and get their Bruiser Camp out to push mid keep with them when they have those Web Weavers. Or they're looking in a bush here, looking on bot lane, gets a stun on Thrall. He's pretty healthy, though. Does get the yoink from Anduin, does get a stun, and the Grav comes down. He gets very low. Sunder comes down to peel. Yeah, Zarya and Murden both dropping. The bomb spread is really rough on the side of Wholesome Halfwits, but they are able to live long enough. So 2 kills down on the side of Wholesome Halfwits, but 3 on Sky5, and they're going to have to back up here. Jaina and Kel'Thas might just be chased down. Stun misses on the Johanna.
Really able to find a stun on Pearl, and Pearl should go down.
And yeah, Jaina has spells back up. Probably able to finish off further. I think she missed the Ice Lance, but he still goes down. That was
16s as well,
really huge for Wholesome Halfwits. Yeah, they needed that. And they are going to be able to get almost 2 turn-ins off the back of this. One is going to have to recall and probably defend top lane again, because there's 3 catapults back there.
Back up, though, so they'll be able to clear out top.
Or that, yep, makes sense. Jaina tagging the spot lane siege camp. They're going to have that pushing bot lane for them. And mid and bot lane are pushed up decently far, so Wholesome Halfwits going to be able to get some value out of these turn-ins here. They most likely will be able to get a second one off the back of this one as well. We do see top lane get cleared out.
If they can get the points off of this first turn-in, and then they get another turn-in, they can actually start pressuring the keeps as well. So this is exactly what they needed to do to get back.
I don't think Murden saw the Johanna get into that bush, so Johanna has a neat flank here. Ana was stepped up pretty far. Does get the stun and the light bomb coming out on Murden. He's going to just get destroyed.
Oh my.
Yeah. The Zarya Grav Bomb came out trying to help peel for him, but no real value coming out of that. And yeah, Wholesome Halfwits looks like they're pressuring for the keep here, bot lane. Mid lane gets the front wall, but yeah, for sure.
And now with that,
and the siege camp as well.
We're seeing actually as well, yeah. And with that full wave there, they are actually relatively likely to get this.
This might be the first Phoenix I've seen all game from Kel'Thas. You know, it does help with the clearing that out a little bit, but this keep is dropping very fast with the Sylvanas, as you mentioned, and the Merc Queen siege camp.
Are they actually going to go for core here? That seems a little bit risky.
Murden is dead for another 10 seconds. Yeah, they do have the Kel'Thas Flame Strikes, able to clear out most of the minions there.
Okay, no, they recognize that and they just back up. Maybe go for the booster camp, but yeah, there's with Murden coming back up soon, they just decide to back up right there.
Yep, both teams able to turn in. Yeah, I think Sky5 going to have to clear out that lane. They are going to try and tag that siege camp, but I think Wholesome Halfwits just going to take the turn in while they can get it, even those up, and dump those 50 gems off Dr. Sigelli. Boss is going to be alive after this Webweaver phase is down, and both teams are going to be nearing level 20 around that time, so that will likely be the fight that decides the game. Is Boss, especially, and Sky5 will be very close to a turn in as well. After that as well. So if they can get a boss turn in as well and just run it down through top lane, they can definitely look to end Wholesome Halfwits if they get a boss and you know, maybe top keep off this turn in, which I think Sky5 is smartly defending top lane first as well to eliminate that possibility.
Yeah, but so Wholesome Halfwits needs to find a fight before level 20 in.
Yeah, Wholesome Halfwits looking for a flank here. Good unstoppable.
Well, and does he get
onto Kel'Thas? Light bomb comes down, mind control. He's just going to get bursted down really hard. Pops the mana shield. Oh, and the bomb spread and the Kel'Thas damage is just insane with the nano boost. Ring of Frost comes down, doesn't really hit anybody. Quan Finnegan chasing down the Sonya, or the Sylvanas there, able to finish her off. And, that's
I'm not sure if
game.
anyone can defend this.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Bot lane is pushing from Wholesome Halfwits there. They have 2 catapults in the Webweaver, but I don't think they can race a Sonya on core.
Yeah, that entire fight was just so explosive. With especially with Sonya just leaping into the back line, making sure to keep Sylvanas and Andrew busy that entire time, so they couldn't get any follow up. Meant that nobody on Sky5 was actually able to die there. And now with the Sonya Zarya on core, like there's no way that Wholesome Halfwits is able to defend this. So that is GG.
I don't really know what Delphos is doing. He was just kind of AFK chilling. I think he just
He's
respawned,
doing his
but
best. Yeah, he cleared out bottom. He wanted to make sure.
oh,
He
that
didn't
yeah.
leave.
Okay, that was it. Yeah. But yeah, GG's to Sky5, taken game 3, and hmm. This might
They
be
don't have
recency
words.
bias, but I feel like it's either between like Kael'thas was strong, Zarya was strong, Sonya Leap
The
was
Sonya
actually
was
very
strong.
strong. Murden got a lot of good jump in and stun engages as well. Um,
And Ana was able to keep her entire team
yeah,
alive
I,
through so
I
many
I
other
still think I
things.
gotta give it to the Kael'thas. He just did so much damage, especially in that last team fight, probably
Very
single-handedly
true.
winning them the game, staying alive, being able to survive the engage, pop in the mana shield, and turn it around. Still, not just worry about himself, but also getting enough spells out to turn that fight around for them. So, GG's, Sky5 taken game 3.
I think if anything though, that game three was so like back and forth. I honestly didn't think that Wholesome Halfwits would be able to find their way back into that game, but they were able to get that bot keep, able to find a couple of really good fights there. And for a second there, it looked like they were like very competitive. So both teams like showing up very well to that.
Waiting to hear back from the teams on where we're going next. And yeah, I see people mentioning in chat Zarya ban might need to come out here at a certain point. I don't even think Zarya was that like instrumental that game. It did help keep everybody alive on some of those engages, but I think they banned Lucio instead, something like that, where Lucio probably could have done roughly the same thing. So, um, I think Sky5 is just a little bit more coordinated in these team fights of keeping everybody alive, playing defensive enough, and then turning it around when they are able to. We have here Wholesome Halfwits
All track.
picking Alterac Pass.
Oh, I do love this map so much. I'm very ready for this one.
And this is picked by this team. Is that right? Overlay? Checking it. Yes. Okay, nailed it. And yeah, we do have Wholesome Halfwits picking up their main roster. Crooked Smile, he's in for game 4, coming in when it counts.
All right, and it looks like this might be the first scenario where the caster actually gets kicked out of the
Yep.
custom game.
Horrible, absolutely atrociously bad puns are happening in the lobby chat. I'm making enemies
That's
of
what we
both
like to
teams
see.
as much as possible.
Of course, you gotta get them hyped up for our finals match.
So Alterac Pass. This is one of my favorite maps.
Honestly, same here. It's just such a fun map, and the way you play it is like slightly different to like the core mechanics of this map are so much different than any other map that exists in the game currently. So you'll have to see that.
Yep, Sylvanas, very strong here. We've seen her surprisingly get through draft all 3 games and be picked, so I don't know, that might happen. Yes, Volskaya was banned. Correct.
What maps are actually left in the pool?
I can tell you right now. We have Alterac Pass that we're going to be playing on in a moment. Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom. So assuming the series isn't over at the end of this game, we have Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom for our last map. And
Oh
the other
gosh,
one not
finals
being
of
played.
Towers of Doom. Like if it doesn't get any more intense than that.
It doesn't. Game 5 Towers of Doom, that's a classic right there.
Absolute play.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I just realized what you did. Boo. Okay.
Oh
He
no!
won up to my bad pun with an even worse pun. I am so
I could have
upset.
done my entire life
It was
without
so
seeing
bad it
that.
didn't even register in my brain for like 2 straight minutes. Oh my god, that was... Whew. Hold on, I need a moment.
Wow, I was not ready for that pun at all.
Okay. He
I
put
thought we were all
he
done with
put a
those.
5 in the word Volskaya. Wow. Alright. Oof. Okay, that one physically hurt.
Of course. Honestly, we're gonna need a moment for that one.
Altark Pass also has a bit of some fun stuff going on. Especially these teams known to play a little bit of weird stuff. Lost Vikings can be good here. Abathur can be good here. Globals in general, Falstad Dahaka. We might see a Stage Dive ETC. Junkrat's pretty strong. Hanzo, Chromie, anybody with long range poke. Stukov's pretty strong. Li Ming is pretty strong. Tassadar, Sergeant Hammer. There's like lots of cool stuff you can do on this map. So I am excited to see some shenanigans happen. I want to see not standard stuff. I want to see some new stuff.
Alright, the Probius pick. The surprise pick from either team. I
All
don't
right.
even mind.
Out of
But,
respect for Team Training Wheels, I think that is not allowed. That is banned.
alright. Never mind. Just ruin my fun then.
Yep.
Oh, and something we do see is Crooked Smile is actually now on Wholesome Halfwits instead of Ace Hysteria. So now they have the full 5-man roster. Although I don't know if Ace is a sub or if he's just another starter.
I think he's like technically a sub, but yeah, they are fine to play with. Pretty much their full 6 here. Powers and Cursed. Yeah, okay, you typed faster than me. I was using capitalization, right? I had to press an extra shift key twice.
That's such a try-hard move to make.
Yeah, right? And mines. Not mines. Hanamura next, please. Same.
Or Blackheart's Bay. I'm just saying.
Hold up. Let's not go too extreme here. Garden game 5. I'd kind of be okay with that too.
That is an interesting map, but I still haven't decided what I think about it.
The more I play it, the more I'm like, this is just worse Cursed Hollow. Can we not?
Pretty much. It's Cursed Hollow, except what if we took Cursed Hollow and we put 17 more camps?
Had no bosses.
No bosses, but just more camps. Camps, like, it's an Illidan stream.
Yeah, in our hero brawler, the more thing we need is everybody too busy doing camps to fight.
Exactly. Like, it's so much more fun to have individual 1v1s with yourself and a siege giant rather than yourself and that of a team, you know?
And having the only important objectives be the tributes instead of any boss potential plays are also pretty rough. So one of the best parts about Cursed Hollow is a lot of times you can just trade giving up a tribute and like sneak a boss or even get double bosses and stuff like that. Have them pushing in like different lanes. Sometimes you push with the boss, sometimes you don't push with the boss. Like there's so much cool stuff. You just remove all the cool stuff just to have like another siege camp that pushes mid lane. It's like why?
That's almost as fun. Like, just take out the bosses, take out all the fun stuff. Okay, an ETC ban again. We will actually focus on this draft now. So basically the same draft as we've seen for the past 3 games, just getting rid of that ETC, not wanting to deal with it at all.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. It's like both teams, they're like, sure, we'll pick the weird stuff, but our drafts, nah. We have one draft plan, and that's it. We just ban the same stuff every game.
And to be fair, it's worked. Like,
Well,
we have not seen a single game of Rhaegar, offlane Rhaegar from Sky5.
That is true.
It's gotten banned. So, These are the
They
500
switched
IQ.
it up one game and did Banzable. I'll give them that. That was as adventurous as they were willing to be.
Oh, and there's another one with an honor band instead of the, what was
Oh,
it,
there is a
Skeleton?
draft. I'm sorry. Stream. I am badcaster. Alright, look, it's the same bands, okay? You didn't miss anything, alright? Flame me, whatever. But you didn't miss anything important.
It's basically the same as before. Just copy paste from the other map.
Yeah,
And you'll be
exactly.
fine.
Just go rewind the stream like 30 minutes. It's the same
Is
thing.
that a rewind fun? I'm so proud of you.
Oh, good. Okay, I didn't mean to, but you're welcome. Stukov coming out.
Oh, no.
Who could have predicted such a
No one
innovative,
coming. What a bold
sneaky
strategy.
ban? So far it's been Sylvanas or Kael'thas first picked every time, I think.
And there you go, another Sylvanas first pick.
And then it's been
Unfortunately.
Johanna plus a different hero.
Wait, now it can't be Anna, so that's innovation at its finest.
Well, previously it was Johanna Sylvanas, so we are seeing true innovation here, live on stream. Phoenix!
We do see the Phoenix first pick. Okay.
Alright, a man after my own heart.
And then
Lucio.
Lucio
Oh
instead.
my gosh,
Wow.
actual true innovation.
I don't understand. My heart was ready for the Johanna pick, and now I don't know what to expect. This does leave Johanna open for Sky5 potentially if they want to take that here.
So yeah, Lucio pretty strong on this map. You know, you stay clumped as 5 or at least 4 quite often, and rotating between the lanes, having those. It's a big, gigantic open map. So having the ability to like chase people down in fights, and or just disengage yourself, very strong.
Okay, so Sky5 electing to go for the kill toss and the Anduin. So they've shown their DPS picks already, and Alan by default's Anduin is great as we saw in a previous game.
I like the
So-
Sonya ban here a lot. I think that's pretty solid. The Zarya might
Definitely.
might have been better, but I'm okay with Sonya. I think Sonya is really strong on this map, just able to push those side lanes with the objectives. Very strong, able to do the camps as well.
I do
Phoenix.
wonder if we'll see another Zarya though. Like Apple Mike's pick is still unpicked.
I like the
Tyrael
Tyrael
ban.
ban too. Tyrael is very strong. Getting the minion shielding on those pushes can be quite strong. And it pairs well with the Lucio as well, I think. The Phoenix is a little bit interesting. His wave clear is strong. But other than that, he's not like the best on this map, but he's not bad either. Phoenix is never really like bad. He's always interesting. I like seeing more Phoenix. Thrall, as we've
I
seen
mean,
so
he's
far.
slightly biased also. Okay, and there's the Johanna pick. that
Alright,
we were
they're
just-
just they knew they were gonna get those anyway. Those are just changing up the order. That's
Yeah,
that's
and
just an
everything is
excuse.
right in the world again.
Yeah, exactly. There's no actual change happening here. But nice try.
So for the front line for Sky5 though, what are we looking to see? With Johanna, ETC, and Tyrael banned, I wonder if they'll go for something like a Garage, maybe the Varian again?
Yeah, Diablo's not as strong just because the map is so open. It's hard to get those wall stuns. They're gonna go for the Zarya
Okay.
Varian. I do think I like the Varian a bit more with the Zarya, just to give him a little bit more tankiness. But
True, but currently,
I
like, with
think-
the stall, there isn't too much pressure onto the Varian. It depends on what this the last pick is from Neutrons, if he goes for something like a Burst Mage or...
well, Raynor hasn't been banned, so I'm assuming Raynor.
Fair enough.
Or
But a
Gul'dan.
Gul'dan pick
Okay,
instead.
fair enough.
Okay.
That is his, I think, second common hero to pick.
And I do like the Gul'dan pick against the Zarya specifically, because she can only shield 2 people, right? And Gul'dan's going to be damaging literally everyone on the team with his AoE damage abilities. This also means that they could potentially look for a Horrify on a Zarya, and as long as they get Anduin in that as well, like, they can hopefully burst Zarya down.
I do think the Gul'dan being a little bit immobile, I mean, the Lucio helps with that, but the immobile, backline against Varian and Zarya especially could be a bit tricky, and Sylvanas as well if she gets a good silence off. Silence is very strong against Lucio, that you can silence him, and if he can't sound barrier, that's most of his like burst defensive cooldowns kind of shut down, so you can burst people down in fights a lot easier. Overall,
I'm not really sure who to favor here, though.
I think
You like both of them.
Sky5 is quite a bit stronger. I like the Zarya, I like the Sylvanas. Anduin's strong in general. Kael'thas is maybe not my main pick, but it's been so contested this game, and he's done work with it in this series
Right.
so far. So I think
Especially from that last game.
the only like real pick that I'm not a huge fan of is the Varian, especially against like a Lucio. I think it could be tricky, but the Zarya helps quite a bit, and the Anduin as
Yeah.
well.
And I,
They have two kind of helpful defensive tools for him. So hopefully he can kind of play safe enough that he doesn't get too punished.
right. And if Varian ever manages to find any sort of taunt on basically anyone except for Johanna, like the Kael'thas follow-up last game was insane, and I imagine it will be the case as well. So they might be able to just blow someone up before the fight even really begins.
On the left side, we have Neutrons on Gul'dan, Crooked Smile on Phoenix, Freckle Pants on Lucio, G-Money Drums on Thrall, and Dr. Sigelli on Johanna. They got the 4 Boise State thing going on.
All right, and meanwhile on Sky5, looking to close the series out, Goliath on Varian, Alan by default playing the Anduin, Furl on the Kael'thas again, Apple Mike using the Zarya again, and then finally Quan Finnegan playing Sylvanas.
Varian
And I
gonna
think
start
they're
out
going
in the top lane, yeah. Bit interesting there. I think Wholesome Halfwits is gonna have the stronger wave clear in the early game. They've got Johanna, Phoenix, and Gul'dan all very strong. And pretty much just Kael'thas on the side of Sky5.
Right. I think Sky5 realizes that with their variant, they're just sort of waiting for level 4 before they really come online, so they're not trying too hard to take this fight.
And we see Sylvanas now on Sky5 going for the Might of the Banshee Queen. And Phoenix going advanced targeting. Gotta call you out. This is mathematically bad. Don't do it. Okay. Sorry to flame. But yeah.
Classic.
Mobile offense or Arsenal synergy. Quite a bit stronger. Both teams just kind of
Yeah.
soaking the early game, clearing the waves. Sylvanas in the bot lane means she can't really do the siege camp mid lane as early for Sky5, so not as big a fan of their lane setups. I would have probably sent Zarya bot lane and had Sylvanas and Anduin go do that camp. Kael'thas, again, kind of similar to Jaina, doing camps in the early game uses most of your mana, so a bit rough. Gul'dan and Lucio gonna do the camp on the side of Sky5. That's
good
fine.
camp for both teams.
Yeah. Phoenix might have been a little bit better for Wholesome Halfwits, but not too big a difference. But
They should
Gul'dan,
be able to clear them out relatively effectively, and it looks like Sky5 is actually the first to pick up their camp. Pearl actually tanking some damage on purpose just to make sure Apple Mike gets his full energy stacks. That's the synergy I like to see.
yep, walking in, tanking those 2 tower shots. Backing it up. And so yeah, normally you
So
can
the
get
thing about this
level
is-
4 right around the time that these camps are meeting on Sylvanas and get the Merc Queen active, and then disable the wall, and they can get quite a strong push here, but unfortunately Sky5 just gonna have their camp cleared out pretty quickly there.
Yeah, so that was basically a free camp clear for for Wholesome Halfwits just because it was underneath the towers. But it doesn't look like either team's going to get too much value with their camps, unfortunately. Dr. Sodrelli actually getting very low, but of course he's just able to unstop.
Yep, Crooked Smile rotating up from bot lane is going to lose a tiny bit of XP. Quan Finnegan freezing the lane down here, sort of. Is going to go for possession instead of Merc Queen on the Sylvanas there, so I guess if he's off laning, not really planning to push with the camp anytime soon.
And meanwhile, in the top lane, we do see that Goliath has chosen to go for the taunt, as expected. So it will be a maintained variant game. No Twin Blades this time, unfortunately.
See a couple of little bit unusual talents here. Conviction on Johanna and Moral Compass on Anduin at level 4. So these camps do respawn right around the first objective time, depending on when you cap them first. So doing them ASAP at 1 minute is very strong. You can get 2 out before the first objective here. Whereas if you're slow,
Sky5 taking advantage of their camp immediately, whereas Wholesome Halfwits is still in the process of doing theirs, so they're going to be able to push down mid potentially.
yep. So now they get the option of pushing mid or just focusing on the objective, and Wholesome Halfwits has to make the choice of defending mid or defending the objective at the same time, and it's hard to do that with all 5 people, and so you can generally get an advantage on one side or the other. So they are going to look, trying to get this first objective cap on the side of Sky5. Looks like they should be able to get it there. And now they can just stall and play defensive this. They get a taunt onto Phoenix. He's already dropping very low. Tries to warp out, but not quite in time. Apple Mike gonna finish that off.
Very nice job finding the taunt
And
like
they're
right
stalling
into the
the
Kael'thas damage.
channel a little bit, but Johanna getting rooted there, dropping very low, has the bomb spreading out the neutrons.
Oh
He's dropping
my.
very low as well with the bomb off to Johanna. Taunt coming out on Thrall. He's very low. Is going to be able to get away. Apple Mike going to get some more free energy off the tower.
And with that, that should be the first objective, easily going over to Sky5.
Yep.
Just very nicely done with finding those taunts there.
Sylvanas able to clear out that camp as well, stun those out. So main benefit of Sylvanas is not only does your camp get quite a bit stronger and your pushing power quite a bit stronger, whether or not you're pushing with the camp or just the objectives, but you're also able to deny the main one single camp that the other team has quite easily.
Right,
So
Sylvanas did use her trait there though, so they're not going to have that for this initial push at least.
yeah, and Phoenix, did get not quite interrupted on the warp, but just bursted down before the warp could even come out. So he has to be pretty careful here, especially stepping up outside of that gate in this bot lane. Does get stunned, losing most of his shield there. Bomb on Johanna, not getting too much value. Mid lane just pushing the wall down for now. There's the taunt coming down onto Phoenix. Does
This
get
time
the
he
warp
managed to
out.
get the ward out though.
Does have the bomb
Nice.
on him, not quite finishing him off.
Right. And with the Sylvanas trait now coming back up, they should be able to get this bottom fort for free. But this does mean that mid got cleared up for free, and G-Money Jones is also top, just clearing that as well.
Yep, one fort off the first objective is about all you would normally expect. You normally want to push with the side lane closest to the objective there. So you can.
Are they actually looking to push in farther than this? They don't have
I mean,
this
the bot lane objective is still pretty healthy here, above half HP, so they can definitely get at least a tower, if not both, in the bot lane here. Bomb spread is a little bit awkward for Wholesome Halfwits to deal with, especially clumping up for that Lucio healing. So they do get just barely, not quite, both towers.
Triple root.
Yeah, root onto
And they're looking for
Zarya
Apple Mike now,
does
but
get
a
yoinked out by
nice-
Anduin. Good stun peeling on
Apple
the
Eye in a bit of
Phoenix.
trouble.
Quan Finnegan is
There's
off
one
to the
Quan
side,
Finnegan.
gets warped on by the Phoenix. They're chasing him down with the Lucio. He's probably gonna, unfortunately, go down here. Yoink was already used to
And he
save
dies.
the Zarya.
Alan by default slowed by the
Yeah,
Mud Pit.
Anduin
Really
kind of
good
in trouble
job.
here. Same with Furl as well.
A
Furl
nice boot from Lucio to try and push
heals
them
coming
back,
out,
but actually it's
able to
Thrall
keep
that
everyone
gets
alive.
the
Thrall
boost
getting
on,
rooted
and
into the tower range is gonna go down there. Zarya
Nice,
trading
Mal
down,
finding-
warp out by Phoenix.
That was just pick after pick, like very nicely
Back and
done
forth,
by
yeah.
both teams. But yeah, the nice taunt from Goliath the second that they saw that Thrall was a little bit out of position, just getting them under the towers and able to blow them up as a result.
And Wholesome Halfwits, both teams about even on XP, is going to go for the bot lane boss here. Boss is not too strong on this map, especially early game, but normally, you'll see probably at least one team doing a boss after the first objective, just in the downtime. It's kind of the only real time to do it after the objectives die. Sky5 taking their camp again. Good, macro play by them, getting that out on time every time.
So they do hit level 10, and immediately the combo that I'm seeing is the Earthquake from Thrall into the Purification Salvo by Phoenix.
Yep, classic combo.
Very classic combo.
Horrify on Gul'dan is the pick as well. Taunt comes out onto Phoenix. Follow-up stun by Kael'thas. He tries to warp out again, but the damage is just too strong. Neutron's pretty low and doesn't have a whole lot of mana. Goliath trying to chase him down there, but Johanna is there to peel him. Quan Finnegan
But again,
with
it's
the
just like a
flank
very-
does have
Oh.
Haunting Wave, does have Wailing Arrow as well.
Okay.
Doesn't want to go for the burst to try and finish him off there. Barb Shot can do quite a bit of burst if you, just get a Q and a Wailing Arrow on somebody. And the camp from Sky5 pushing mid lane as well. Thrall gonna have to defend that. They're gonna go for their camp in the meantime. And yeah, so just the wall down bot lane. Again, boss is not getting too much value. Camp arguably got roughly about equal value. Sky5 looking for an invade on this camp potentially. Does get booped away by the Lucio, but stun comes out onto neutrons. Have to use the sound barrier there. Camp wasn't stolen. I have to be a little bit careful of a Thrall flank here. Is just going to go for some dismounts. Phoenix is in the top lane though, so this would be a 5v4 fight from Wholesome Halfwits, so they probably don't want to take that anytime soon. Going to clear the camp out from Wholesome Halfwits on the side of Sky5, and their camp is going to respawn again right now, and they might just go take that again and set up the same, two-pronged attack sort of thing that they have to defend on the side of Wholesome Halfwits, and try and go for the objective again.
I do think that the pick that they managed to find on Phoenix is going to be a bit of foreshadowing of what's to come, just because once Varian hits level 13, he has a Shield Breaker talent, which will just basically demolish the entirety of Quick Smiles' shield. And when you combine that with the taunt, I feel like Phoenix has got to be very, very careful this game, because otherwise he'll just get blown up instantly.
Yep, we do see the Holy Word Salvation from Anduin again this game. Bomb coming down onto Dr. Sigelli is going to get the taunt. Iron Skin already used. Rooted as well. Good Gravel Bomb right with the Phoenix. Neutron's getting very low, is going to go down. Dr. Sigelli also dropping very quick. Here's the Earthquake Salvo coming out. We have the Holy Word Salvation protecting 100% of the damage.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Okay, so that's a very nice combo, especially with Johanna dead and Lucio unable to interrupt the Anduin ult. Like, that's the entirety of their combo just invalidated, and now Sky5 is just going to easily be able to get this objective here.
Yep, Wholesome Halfwits having to clear out the mid camp, not able to contest with 2 people dead, and meanwhile Sky5 able to push in the top lane, and, you know, probably get most of this wall already dead before the objectives even get here, and, you know, getting the fort off the first one, you can now look for keep off the second one, for sure. At the very least, the keep wall, as they already almost got in the bot lane, or I guess did get in the bot lane. I guess when Kael'thas was over there, they finished off that tower at like 100 HP.
Wholesome Halfwits now looking to defend, but
Dan does finish his
nice
quest. Taunt coming down onto Phoenix. Goliath is taking a lot of damage there. Anduin pull already used to save the Kael'thas. There's the grab bomb, missing everybody from Apple Mike. Protect coming down.
Goliath taking a ton of
damage,
Goliath and Apple
is
Mike
going to go down here. Apple Mike
like both of them are going to...
trying to get away. Furl also needs to be a little bit careful. Lucio trying to chase him down. They are going to get the cap themselves on the objective from the side of Wholesome Halfwits. Meanwhile, Sky5 doing their camp again. Big wave bottom, pressuring this bot lane fort. Might go down here. Maybe not quite.
I think this wave is just in time. The problem is that level 13, and there it is for Varian. We see Shadowing Throw, which, again, is just going to absolutely demolish every single...
is going to have to play aggressive and push in here to try and stall this objective until Varian can get here. They might have just about a 10 or 5 second window on the back of this, so they'll have to do it pretty quick here before this objective goes to the side of Wholesome Halfwits. Taunt coming in on G-Money Drums. Follow-up stun by Kael'thas, and he just gets blown up instantly. Silence comes down onto Johanna. She pops the Unstoppable, but she's very low. Phoenix trying to run away. Kael'thas, yeah, Flame Strike just going to finish off the Johanna there. Wholesome Halfwits does get the objective, but they're chasing down onto Neutrons. Anduin Root misses. Kael'thas stun also missing. No Flame Strike damage there. They can just push down mid for it, though, with this camp. And Neutrons and Cricket's Mal have to be very careful of any Anduin or Varian stepping up into them. Apple Mike taking a lot of damage. Here's the salvo coming out. Protect coming down from the Anduin as well. Neutrons taking a bit of damage is going to be able to back off. They are going to be able to finish off mid fort. And getting pushed back.
There is still top and bottom pushing in though, and I'm pretty sure that bot fort is just absolutely gone.
Bot fort's gone. you just give that up. You just defend the top lane here. Anduin going to stay mid, try and defend the mid wall. And yeah, Wholesome Halfwits probably going to finish off the bot fort, and then everybody from Sky5 going to rotate down to defend the keep wall. Going to have to be a little bit careful in this rotation if Dr. Sigelli posts up in this bush here. Yeah, nice little rotation stalling position there. I like it.
They do.
Kael'thas, don't phase check the Johanna. That's a bad idea. Doesn't get rooted by the Thrall. Is going to get yoinked over by the Anduin. Has the save there.
Again, these Anduin ults have been very excellent.
Yep, Goliath taking a lot of damage there. Objective is going to go down. Johanna gets stunned, dropping about half HP. So
yeah, that should be about all that.
Most of the keep wall goes down.
Is able to find, though.
Yep. And Sky5 still about half a level ahead in XP. They're going to go for their camp again. Keeping up with that timing. I like it. A smart play from them. I thought Wholesome Halfwits might try and go for the bot lane boss again, potentially, but looks like they're just kind of going to clear out the top lane. Has quite a big wave there pushing in on that.
I think they're just interested in getting 16 as quickly as possible at this point. They might go for top.
Sky5 either looking for an invade on the siege camp. Kael'thas is just going to go clear mid. Not really sure what their plan is. I thought they might go for bottom boss. Now, yeah, Wholesome Halfwits is starting up this top lane boss. Looks like they're all rotating back up for that.
Double stun from the boss itself, but it looks like Sky5 will be here in time to contest this.
I think they showed on the wave, so they knew they were doing this. Thrall stepping up, gets stunned immediately, dropping very low. Stun barrier is going to come out. The Salvo Earthquake comes down, Fear comes down, but the Anduin Protect is going to be able to keep everyone pretty healthy. Lucio goes down, Thrall goes down. Dr. Sigelli trying to contest the point here, but he's very low. Quan Finnegan chasing in onto Neutrons is almost going to be able to finish him off, not quite. Crooked Smile has to be a little bit careful. Goliath looking in onto him. Apple Mike looking for that last grenade onto Neutrons. He's going to back out in time. Don't spread the bomb. Okay. We made it.
And that's so unfortunate too, because by the, once Sky5 ended up showing up, Wholesome Halfwits tried to defend by attacking them, but that meant that the boss was just wailing on Lucio the entire time, and I'm pretty sure it's the boss who got the final hit against Lucio to kill him.
Yep. And yeah, that mid-camp pushing gets the entire front keep wall. Meanwhile, They're getting the keep wall in the top lane, and this should be top lane keep, I would expect. Ooh. Okay, stun goes down onto Neutrons, but he was just out of range of the flame strike there. And yeah, the Sylvanas trade on top keep is going to finish that off for sure.
The boss won't be able to kill the core, but the only question is if they'll be able to find any picks.
Ooh, Quanfinigan gets chunked really hard. And they can probably just back off and get their camp and go for the objective again.
Right,
Sky5
so
playing this very patient and, you know, choreographed, as you should. Oh, they're just going to go for the objective straight up.
So Wholesome Halfwits will still have this fight here. It is still 16-16. They don't have Blessed Shield on Johanna, but all of the rest of them also up, with the exception of Earthquake, which is 10 seconds from now.
Dr. Jelly stepping in. They do get the channel on the side of Sky5. Gul'dan doing a ton of damage with those E's, though. I forget what that ability is called. Corruption? Yeah, okay.
Echo Corruption, yes. And now that he's finished it as well, that's basically double his damage. And now that he's hit level 16, Runix Affliction means that each of his corruption stacks does so much damage.
So quick 7-second advantage there for the side of Sky5. This would be a time that I think they should go for their siege camp just to get that pressuring the mid lane keep again and keeping them ahead on XP. Meanwhile, they can just soak mid and bot lane and kind of freeze those there, clean up the camp from Sky5, and as long as they can stall the objective, they can even give some channel time here, but looks like they're kind of doing that. Is a bit slow. Going to give up a bit more channel time than you would like here.
The problem is that Zarya, she's just delaying basically infinitely.
Over the wall with those grenades. Good call.
Oh, nice
double stun onto gets yoinked out by the Anduin.
Goliath is now a little bit out of
Protected,
position,
comes
though.
down. Phoenix getting silenced. Gravabomb missing everyone. Salvo only hitting one. And Apple Mike probably going to go down here. Yeah, is going to go down. Neutron's almost not going to spread the bomb.
Very low, but he's able to kill up. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, Anduin only had one pull, so he was able to save one person, but that Zarya was then out of position, wasn't able to
Yeah, I
heal.
think Zarya just kind of stepped up a bit too far there. Wholesome Halfwits can potentially try and actually tag the bot lane boss and do that as well as capping the objective. The objective is much more important, so they will want to defend that
only
instead.
one dead, though. I think they'll just look to take a fight here. With Gul'dan top, though, and
Taunt coming down onto Phoenix. He gets the warp out, but he's very low. Dr. Jelly also very low. Root coming down onto Kael'thas, but he's pretty fine. Goliath not going to look for anything on the Johanna. She's going to have to recall. 2 low mana. Gul'dan clearing out the mid lane camp and the big wave stacked up there. Meanwhile, Sky5.
Right, Zarya is still down for 5 seconds, but it is Sky5 who is pushing up right now, looking for the rest of their objective here, pulling out those little minions there. But now everyone is back, and Zarya should be returning as well, so this is basically even again.
Good flashlight to check the bush by Johanna. Scouting out Goliath in there. Sylvanas is kind of split from the team here. Ed showed on the wave. They have to be a little bit careful. So Jelly pushing in onto Furl. Good protection coming down. Does use the unstoppable. Spreading the bomb to Thrall. Yep. Taunted by...
now.
Silence comes down. There's the salvo coming out. We don't have the Anduin protect. He gets feared. Huge fear onto... Yeah, Sylvanas and Kael'thas both getting chunked very hard. Dr. Jelly getting burned down. Is it going to drop? Neutron's also going to drop. Furl peeling the Thrall in the backline. Is able to stay alive somehow.
Going down in the meantime,
Goliath able to stay alive. Nice pull into protect by
Anduin.
Anduin. Very good play from them. G-Money Drums gonna drop down. Oh, not quite staying alive, just barely. Oh, the last auto attack from Anduin gonna finish him off. Good protect by Goliath, is able to stay alive. Wholesome Halfwits able to get the objective, but is gonna lose 3 people in the trade, yeah. And
I think overall it's worth, because Sky5 did hit level 20 throughout all of that, and once they had hit 20, I don't think there's any way that Wholesome Halfwits is able to take that fight.
It gives them time to hit 20 themselves, but it's not going to really get anything. They might get, you know, a tiny bit of damage on bot keep, but not very much. Unfortunately, once one keep is down, it kind of does this, where the wave is just stalled in the top lane forever, and you only get really 2/3 value out of the objective when you cap it like this, because this one is just going to take so long, it's never going to get any damage on top fort, like pretty much ever. Or it's very easy to defend by clearing the other 2 lanes first if you
definitely. So both teams, well, Wholesome Half was still looking for 20 from top and mid, whereas Sky5 is just playing out this objective basically for free.
It looks like Wholesome Halfwits is just setting up to take this bot lane boss as soon as it comes up, once the objectives are dead.
Yeah, the mid wave should give them level 20, and then they should be able to set up effectively on that. There you
I don't
go.
think Sylvanas should go to top lane. I think you are completely fine. Top fort like is pretty meaningless at this point. I think it would be better for Sky5 to try and find where Wholesome Halfwits is on the map and stay as 5 and be able to contest this boss ASAP. But they
Right,
are
exactly.
showing all now 3, 4, 5 of them top lane, so they can trade the boss top lane themselves. That won't really pressure core, whereas the boss bot lane from Wholesome Halfwits will pressure the bot lane keep. So overall,
Right, with 2 of those keeps still up, that means that the core still has 40 armor, so this boss isn't going to be able to get too much value unless they hard push with it.
yeah,
And even so, they might have to find a pick or two to
they
actually
can
get any
sort
boss.
of threaten to end with it. Looks like Wholesome Halfwits is going to get at least their siege camp here. The boss push is very slow, so you have plenty of time to do this, and then probably meet back up with the boss before it even reaches the keep wall.
Okay, so it looks like both teams are just back up and defend the other team's boss, which means that I'm not even sure if the bottom boss is able to equalize the keeps out, but
Yeah,
with
it
5
shouldn't
people
be able to
defend,
get
I
the
doubt
keep
it
on
will.
its own. It doesn't really have a wave pushing with it. I think Wholesome Halfwits should have at least cleared the wave before recalling themselves, most likely. So it'll get a little bit of a keep damage here, but not a whole ton. They're just going to tank that for Zarya energy, I guess.
Yeah, so with that, it's basically both teams just playing the waiting game, and like both of the siege camps are gone, and all they're doing right now is just waiting for this next objective, which is likely to be the final one at this point.
Yep, we do see the boss in top lane on the side of Wholesome Halfwits getting a tiny bit of damage on the core, but yeah, he's plenty fine. They're going to clear out the siege camps in the mid lane and then probably just set up for the objectives. Their siege camp respawning in 1 minute, so they could also potentially look to just stall and get that again. Meanwhile, Wholesome Halfwits going to have to defend that camp, pushing again, threatening the mid keep. Johanna fish checking a bush and just getting blown up instantly. That's huge.
Oh, no. Yeah, especially with that level 20 blinded by the light, it's good for saving the rest of your team, but you don't have the indestructible to save yourself then.
And now Sky5 pressuring in, looking on either Crooked Smile. G-Mini Drums able to get in the bush and mount up, get away himself. And yeah,
Right.
this should be at least an objective channel for a good portion of this on the side of Sky5. Johanna will be up in time to maybe get the last part of it.
No,
For a
by the time
20
she
to
gets to
20
the
fight.
objective, it'll probably be done. But I'm not too sure what else Wholesome Halfwits can do at this point. They can get the siege camp and hope to push that in mid, but they can't really fight over this objective until Johanna's back.
Yep, we do see them looking like they're going to try and start that. Sky5 knows that that's the only thing on the map for them to do, so they're going to say, no, you cannot do that for free. We're going to come take that for ourselves. And they have Sylvanas. Like, they can just push in for mid keep right now if they want. They did lose the objective channel.
True, this does give Johanna the time to come back, though, so Wholesome Halfwits will be able to clear this camp out and potentially be able to find this fight here, which is huge for them.
Yeah, I think overall that was kind of a mistake from the side of Sky5. I think they would have rather just traded their siege camp themselves and then had the objective to push, because the objectives at this point will get the keeps pretty much guaranteed on their own.
Yeah, so Wholesome Halfwits has the window here. Dr. Sojeli already playing up, but Neutrons is able to basically freely tap this objective, and yeah, there you go.
They traded back.
Now.
Sky5 might look to get their camp now. They can play this pretty patiently. Wholesome Halfwits is going to go clear top lane and mid lane most likely, yeah, because they don't want those threatening the core. They don't really... One wave doesn't, or one lane doesn't threaten it on its own with only one keep down, but it can get it, you know, at around like half HP or something, and then if you die, they can potentially just look to end off that, especially with the Sylvanas. So they are going to get a channel on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. Sky5 doesn't need to be too concerned here. They have plenty of time to play this patiently and defend this, wait for their siege camp to push in the mid lane. Dr. Sojeli gets taunted and stunned, and he's just going to get blown up again.
Blows up again, instantly.
Salvo coming out. No protect from Anduin. A little bit late there. Fear comes down. Doesn't interrupt the Anduin ult, though. Crooked Smile just pounding on the Zarya there, but Zarya has the shields. They're all going to go down. Neutron's going to get stunned and taunted. He's going to go down. And, oh, bomb's still spreading onto the Phoenix there. And this should be game for Sky5 here. Just the objectives themselves should be able to end no matter what. And yeah, even...
they can probably just go for core here straight up.
I think going for core straight up is a bit risky. It's hard to kill a core with 40 armor. Let me just say that. I've tried this before, and it ends a little bit badly sometimes. So I think getting the objective as an insurance policy would be a bit more consistent, guaranteed victory here. But I think they can do this. Looks like they're pretty fine. Goliath taking a bit of poke damage, but they have plenty of defense here. And Sky5 gonna
That is
take
GG.
the victory 3-1. Congratulations to them.
Very well played.
I agree, especially on Eltark past that last game. That looked like pretty much, very strong from them the whole way through.
Yeah, it's just really good like decision making overall. Like every single one of the taunts was very impactful and like they were able to find kills from them.
I'm not sure who my MVP would be for that last game.
I'd have to give it to Goliath personally. Just I think the taunts were excellent. I think the follow up from Kiltos like basically made that game because they were able to find picks easily.
The Anduin did quite a lot as well in those fights, keeping everybody alive. He had lots of good pulls. The protects were on point in most of those fights. So yeah, it's kind of I would say it's like shared between at least the three of them, if not the whole team. So yeah, I thought that game was played very well by them. As a team overall, macro wise and everything else, they played pretty solidly there. So
Yeah, it's just very good synergy from basically every member of that team.
congrats
MVP goes to
to
Sky5
them.
for the Sky5 victory.
All right, let me see if I can have them come in for an interview. I think Quan Finnegan is their captain.
Looks like they are already in lobby 1.
Oh, perfect. I will hop over there. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, best of fives are a little bit interesting. You guys came in, banning their Volskaya, kind of not wanting to deal with any of their shenanigans over there, things like that. And I think Dragonshire, which is one of your most common bans. Bans pretty much stayed the same all the way through that series. You guys came in with a plan, and you didn't really see anything, a need to change it, even after losing one of those games.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't seem like we should stray.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it worked out in the end, so hard to argue with you there. So yeah, game one was. I have to even go back and look. Best of fives are long.
The problem with best of five.
Right.
Games.
Infernal Shrines. So yeah, the first game that was. Let me see here. I have to keep track of this. Was that the only game you guys lost? Yeah. So first game.
Yeah.
You come in. It seemed like kind of caught you off guard with the Chromie, especially did a lot of work that game. In pairing with the Blaze as well with the slow sands. Just talk to me about that game and how you guys dealt with that.
It definitely was a good combo. We don't get a chance to play against Chromies often, so I think that also was a factor.
Mm-hmm.
And the Blaze didn't really seem too impactful, but him and I were in soloing most of the game. It was really in the team fights that we had some trouble, and yeah, it was just a different comp for us than we're used to.
Mm-hmm. And it seemed like in drafts especially they were kind of choking the tank pool quite a bit, forcing you guys onto Varian main tank. I don't know how comfortable you guys feel with that, but especially that first game, it seemed like it was just maybe a little bit too squishy and kind of getting poked down and punished, dying a bit too fast in some of those fights. So
yeah, the big thing is them banning all our healers.
Yeah, that too.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say they didn't ban any tanks game one. They banned, or maybe they banned one,
I believe.
but they banned 2 healers in all 3 games and 3 healers in 2 of the games. So yeah, it looks like they were afraid of my Rhaegar a little bit, and Alan Stukov.
Yeah, something like that. I don't think, like you said with the Chromie, I don't think too many teams are, let's say, used to playing against offlane Rhaegar. It's not a common thing for them to have practice against.
Yeah, no, but it was good. It's good to be respect banned. It feels good. It feels better. It feels better winning even in spite of it, though.
There you go. That's fair.
Definitely.
So yeah, then game 2, we went to Battlefield of Eternity. I thought this might be tricky for you guys, simply because, based on like the very quick scouting that I had done, for the pregame stuff, was you guys like a lot of like mage heroes. Jaina, Kel'Thas. I think you had some like Orphea or Leeming in there, and those generally don't work as well on Battlefield of Eternity, especially with them taking the Leeming. But you guys seem to do plenty fine, and then the Zarya in that game just did work against what they were trying to do, and seemed like turned several fights for you guys very strongly there. So
Yeah, that Zarya player was top in both Hero and Siege. That was a good job.
Fair enough. Very nicely done.
And then Tim of the Spider Queen, you guys first picked Kael'thas, willingly giving away the Johanna. That was, I think, a bit unusual. You guys just not have as high priority on Johanna? You wanted to take away the Kael'thas from them?
Yeah, I mean, we're really strong with KT, and they're, strong with KT. I wasn't really too impressed by the Joe. ETC is obviously something we were trying to take away from them. The Joe is a little aggressive, so we were able to punish that a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely for sure.
Especially like that game 4 as well. Like just the amount of taunts you guys were able to find onto Johanna specifically and just blow her up. Like the variant play that game was excellent. So good job, Goliath.
Yeah, definitely agreed there. And then Altaric Pass, I think that was probably the best game I saw from you guys all series. To finish it out, you guys played strong, well on macro. You just played it patient, and slowly built up a lead the whole time. And you lost a couple objectives, like some of the later team fights. Wholesome Halfwits was able to win the objectives, but then you guys would end up killing 3 of them or something, so they only had 2 people alive, and they didn't really get anything off the objectives. So it felt like it was just kind of delaying the inevitable, and it was only a matter of time before you guys won a team fight and then got the objective yourselves and just pushed to end with it. And that's pretty much what happened at the end. You didn't even need to cap the objective. You just went to top lane with the keep already down and just finished it off. So yep.
Yeah, our siege was really strong. So we were able to melt them real fast, the objectives, and pushing with it was awesome. Just a huge boost for us.
Yep.
Also, I think their boss call was a huge misplay top, where we wiped them. That was.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It was very good on you guys to figure it out and immediately rush over there.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think they expected to have more time than that.
Yep.
Yeah, they snuck bottom boss on us. So we were kind of, concerned about that because bottom was our weak lane, and luckily they went top, which was weaker for them because we still had a fort up. And they're all very clumped up, so we were able to take advantage of that.
Well, yeah. GG's. You guys played well. Looking forward to facing you guys in the grand finals there. I think that'll be a good match. So
sounds good.
Well, any shoutouts, final words, thoughts you have? The floor is yours.
No, shoutouts to everybody for making it. I know it's tough with the scheduling to get everybody on at the same time, so that was awesome. And shoutouts to Goliath for hanging in there. We had a rough week, all of us in general, and he really stepped it up in the game and made some great calls. And everybody else, just thank you for not dying. That was good.
I wish I could tell my team the same.
Hey, I felt that one.
Yep. Well, it's flaming myself too, so I think it's fair.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, thanks, and GG's again, and good luck in grand finals.
Yeah. GG.
Thanks, man. You too. Have a good night.
Thanks. See you there. All right. Well, Chaotic, thank you for co-casting with me last minute. You made it just in time for game 1.
Just in time. There's the entire Storm League game I had to speedrun just to co-cast, so easy as that.
And
it's been fun.
Shoutouts. You don't have media, whatever, social media.
I
but
don't.
do your regular
Don't
thing.
follow me. Hello, I'm Chaotic. I play on Team Rewind. If you want to watch us play against that team in grand finals, I don't know when it'll be. I need to schedule it at some point.
Yeah.
It's okay. When I schedule it, it'll be fun.
Okay, good. I will yell at you to schedule that later.
Perfect.
Now that we know who we're playing. I'm Ryokai. I'm Ryokai everywhere. On Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, Discord, whatever. I think that's most of them.
MySpace?
Not quite MySpace. That's a little bit before my time.
My day.
But yeah, look forward to us Rewind playing Sky5 sometime in the near-ish future, week and a half. That'll be a good game. I'll probably POV stream that on my channel if I can. That's about it. GG's again to Sky5. I thought they played well. GG's to Wholesome Halfwits. Liked that I could sort of last minute grab the cash for that, since I saw nobody else was going to pick it up, and I really wanted to see that match, so I was like, well, I'll do it myself. And
easy as that. We hit 2 birds with 1 stone.
Exactly.
So we did all of our scouting without actually having to watch the draft. We're done now, right?
Something like that, yeah. So, thanks, Chaotic, for co-casting with me last minute again as well. I thought I was just going to have to to solo cast it, which would have been fine,
Yeah,
but
it was fun.
always fun to have somebody else here to bounce ideas off of and react to it. And so for the rest of today, there's some other hot, spicy playoff games going on. In about a half hour, we have Div C East Boogan Squad versus Die for Vision. That'll be over on Mark Zombie's Twitch. So I don't think he has quite started yet, so I will look for somebody to host in the meantime. See if anybody's playing some Heroes of the Storm. Let's go over and host not Paradox, since he's doing his 2v2 tournament. I think they're finishing up or doing something else. Doing sumo wrestling now, which is like pushing people out of lanes and stuff. Or like the Volskaya point or something, I don't know. Anyway, should be pretty fun. Go check out Not Paradox. See y'all later.